It is a fast-acting viral strain that infects the host immediately, and upon getting sick, the infected will become racked with coughs, sweat profusely, and start to get the shivers and chills.
There he is, the legend. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
Thank you very much, TikTok and AEW. See you tonight.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week.
The best guy's Tony Khan.
We just secured the bag.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It was just sort of happened naturally. But it was never something I intended. It was just something that happened because the wrestlers asked me to do things in matches, and I do them.
If you run a promotion just for the sickos, you're going to do 400,000 viewers eventually.
Effing melts. You know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah.
You know,
What's the point?
the point of SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
That the DVRs didn't pick it up.
Did they not pick it up?
You know, mine didn't.
Let's get into everybody's favorite moment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
What would you like to listen to in your ears?
I'd like to hear the flute.
Well, if you'd like to flaunt your flute, then we can find you a flautist.
We have just secured the bag.
It doesn't help me.
Okay, so complain, but
I will complain.
Let me have my misery.
And when I heard that, I was like, what?
Thank you, fuck you, bye. Boom.
You gotta run a promotion for everybody. The sickos can be the ones that buy tickets first and spend the most money on the merchandise.
Because we have just secured the bag.
But like, you gotta promote for everybody. Then you'll have a lot of viewers.
I think we proved a lot of so-called experts. We made them look like idiots. We're not going anywhere. Tony Khan's not going anywhere.
You'll also be there on TNT. You'll be in 2 places at once. You'll be all like my favorite movie. Malakai. It's so great, Pittsburgh.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It sort of happened naturally.
the best guy's Tony Khan.
To keep themselves safe.
No! Damn shot! Damn it!
Ladies and gentlemen, shit's about to hit the fan.
The system is broken. It was time for a revolution. We could be the wrestlers that we want to be.
We have our own stories. We make our own characters.
Different. That's what makes us elite.
I've been forced to vacate the AEW World Trios Championship.
Khan created a revolution.
Show days, super chaotic. A lot of times we get here and we don't know what we're doing till hours, minutes before we go out there.
There literally are, I think some weeks, 100 talents running around backstage.
At that point, it caught Tony Khan's ear, and he started thinking, maybe I want to do this, and let's get together. And I guess the rest is history, right?
We're just getting started, but it's a great fight to start a great night.
Lawrence Cassidy in serious trouble.
This will be fun, right? I'm excited. Ready to go? Go to break.
Figured out what works as a heel in the ring for me.
Austin wants to be here so bad. And
Is it a break spot?
Not yet.
we need to build an army right now.
It was good. The match, good match.
You thought everything looked okay? Yeah. I hope it was good. I just feel like...
You tonight.
That was big.
No! Damn shot! Damn it! We've seen this time and time again out of Jericho and Guevara.
That's awesome. That was great. Ah! Yes! Sick!
He's going to take it! And Claudio Castagnoli was...
Is that heavy, Tony? No. I gave you extra time. Take a break for right now. Go. They're really flying through. Hey! That was great. That was perfect.
1, 2, 3.
Are you okay? That was great. Way to get him up at the end. You got him back. That was great. Pick him up. That was a great finish.
Oh, yeah.
Going into the card rundown. We'll feel out the ending, and then we'll go into the card rundown bumpers.
With Ty Mello, Dr. Ty and Anna, and Will Nightingale taking Britt Baker with Sky in her sights, and now Sky Blue goes down.
My catcher.
The team match right there.
JD Hater.
Coming up right now, the Elite versus Death Triangle.
The sooner you get to the Death Triangle, the better, man.
Good. All right, the Bucks are attacking.
Oh, this.
We're good. We got a minute or so. We want to get him going. Get him off this.
Mox charging right back at Hangman. Now,
I like this thing.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone hit with an elbow like that. Oh, modern day pro wrestling.
Danielson.
We're doing good. We're doing good on time. This is good. Hey, hometown hero. Way to go. Welcome back. Yeah, it's great.
Welcome back.
Loved it.
Welcome back.
Hey, welcome back. You okay?
Oh, I'm great.
Whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready to get it going.
A secret.
What do I say?
Ooh, what's happening, guys? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT live show. Saturday night. I am your host, the infallible Phil Marks, and the full Phil Marks. Ate some rice and chicken. How about you guys? Anything? No? So how y'all doing tonight? We have a very jam-packed full live show here tonight of things to get to. Lots of hot news. Collision, of course, I believe comes on in an hour. Currently, I have UFC Fight Night on. Dern versus Hebas 2, but I am going to switch over to Collision, and we're going to watch that like in an hour. I believe it starts, right? Or did it start already? I don't know.
Idiot.
You know, Collision's been like whatever viewing. I'm incredibly tired. Had an incredible early morning, but I'm in it to win it. I just chugged back a coffee and I got a White Claw. They're my favorite. Low in calories, but it gets you buzzing. I hope you guys like the 10 minutes of Tony Khan video at the start there. We didn't get through all 10, but yeah, it's quite a hilarious little compilation there. Guys, excuse me, 106 of you watching right away, immediately, across both channels. So make sure you hit that like button on whatever channel you're on. Let's try and get to 100 on both if we can. That'd be cool. At least 100 on the Clips channel, though. It helps a lot. It seriously helps a lot. And yeah, make sure you're subscribed. YouTube.com/at Pro Wrestle Clips is the main channel. We're almost at 5.5K subs, so let's get there. Maybe tonight we could even do it. So share this around if you don't mind or whatever. And then youtube.com/at prowrestletimes. We're almost at 2K subs on that one. So yeah, I uploaded a podcast with Marie Shadows there with a bit of update with the Dave Meltzer stuff. And then he talked about her on his message board, which is hilarious, which I believe, my belief is he's heard PWT for sure. He heard what she was talking about on PWT as well as in her newsletter, which I implore you all to check out. But we're going to get to that later, okay? We're going to get to that a little later, as the title implies. You know, Meltzer also melts down over the Netflix Raw situation. What else do we got here? Mercedes Mone is angry, folks, so that'll be fun. And Malakai Black is leaving AEW seemingly out of the blue again, or everyone's botching it again. I don't know. I'm not the news. I'm here to just talk about it, react to what people are saying, and laugh about it with you folks. So, how y'all doing? Run those likes up again. Subscribe. What else do I have to shill? Patreon.com/prowrestletimes. Yeah, I'm going to have a bunch of stuff going on there as well. And there's hours and hours of bonus content if you're not there yet. So consider joining that. And I think that's all I got to shill. And watch New Japan and watch TNA. That's what we're trying to, that's the new agenda. Collision will put you to sleep. Yeah, I'm already tired. So maybe I stick with the UFC. No, this UFC card though is a little bit of a, Alistair Black is leaving AEW. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I'm just checking in with Chad here. Shill like a madman. I absolutely will, as much as I can. At least my own stuff, you know? People were giving me credit. I dropped 3 clips today, and people were like, man, I saw in the comments, it's good to see this guy criticizing WWE and TNA for once. And it's like, well, I do a lot, you know? It's just they've been cooking a lot lately, too, so it's hard to, you know, but I always try and shoot straight. So 69 more likes for 100. Okay, good math. Good math. Let's get there. VKM news, we have that. Of course, you guys know I can only fit so much in a title. 100 characters in a YouTube title, right? I mean, I could go for days. There's a bunch to get to. Vince McMahon update. What else? I mean, we got TNA news. We got everything today. So, as you guys can see, we're already in Phil Marks' bookmarks. He had mad sicko energy. Yeah, there was someone too like freaking out on me for once too because I was criticizing the Federation. And it was like, bro, chill. Wackos and full of. We have wackos today too. It's not just the sickos. We have wackos to get to. Let's take a little ganda at this Collision card. Mariah May versus Harley Cameron. Yeah, I'm all about that. You know. TNT Championship, Garcia and Shibata. I feel like we've already seen this match. No? And in New Japan, Shibata and Tanahashi had to have a special exhibition, grappling rules only or some shit. So they just chopped each other like 4,000 times, and it was a 5-minute time limit. So like in Japan, they will not let this guy have an actual match. I don't know what he's going to do with Garcia, but I know Dave said he had his brain removed and then reinserted. I know that's not the case, but yeah, his match with Tanahashi was crazy bad. Cope takes on Big Bill. I'm down. 2 WWE guys who are going to have like a good television match, I bet. And people are going to go, what a great match. All the sickos are going to be like, what an awesome match. And then you're like, see? And then they go, oh, if I wanted to watch WWE, I just watch WWE. It's like, it's not about that. It's about how you can make the pro wrestling mean more. And that's something WWE does. And that's okay to take that from WWE or adopt some of that. You know what I mean? You got to fucking do that, man. If you're trying to have a TV show, if you're just running an indie, whatever the fuck, you know? Will it pop the live crowd? I fully agree. You know, I'm always the first one to go, yo, but the crowd is hot. You know, I'm the first one to call it out. So I'm just saying here, okay? You can adopt some of those things and it will just help your TV show. And then pay-per-view go ridiculous. But if you tell a crazy enough story, like Seth and Punk told a good enough story, their match, Raw on Netflix, I'm sorry, even Meltzer rated it high because they're doing all this AEW shit. I called it out. Okay, even Meltzer rated it high. They're doing AEW shit during that match. But we just overlook it because the story's so good and hot, and they don't do that all the time, right? So, fuck, man. That's what we mean when we're like, well, you could do it more like the Fed, all right? For any fucking hater out there who's ready to melt down in the chat or the comments. Anyways, though, Cope versus Big Bill. They're going to have a great match with psychology, okay? I can't wait. Dax Harwood and Chris Jericho. Next. No, I mean, okay, it'll be a good match. They both know how to work. They're both vets. So, Pac versus Commander. This will be crazy. It'll just be Dave Meltzer's wet dream. And then we have the Bumbleclot White Knight Combat Clan versus the Outrunners, which is a great, good to see them on Collision. It's not Dynamite, but maybe they'll get a fucking win here. It'll be a great win for them, but I don't know. We'll probably just see Claudio get a W. He lost at Wrestle Dynasty or whatever as well, so yeah. I don't know. Overall, I mean, this card on paper looks real fucking good. Like real. I know it's like, okay, Yuta and shit. Like, what is that? But on paper, this, and then like Shibata, I'm sorry. This he's just toast. Like he realistically can't even he can't bump, you know, or take like big head strikes. So when you see him do that in AEW, Just remember, he's not allowed to do that in other parts of the planet because they're like, no, dude, you'll fucking, you'll have serious trauma from that. So we just saw the other week, Garcia's doing a brain buster on the outside and he's just landing all awkward. Like, I pray to God there's none of that shit. And I swear we saw this match before. No, the TNT title as well. Just glad there's hype behind that, But yeah, anyways, chat. How y'all feeling tonight? Let's you guys let me know, okay, before Chris Jericho shows up, because I don't see those likes going up to 100 and there's like 200 people watching. What do you guys want first after light news? Do you guys want some WWE news or AEW news? So let me know in the chat. Wolverine DX for $2 says, do you think NXT rerun tonight beats Collision? Well, that's what I wanted to talk about as well. So could you imagine if it did?
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Could you imagine if it does with The Rock? Because they were able to advertise it with The Rock. Because before they're just like, The Rock will be there. And it was like a last minute thing he just announced the day before. So they're running commercials with The Rock talking and like an epic rerun. They're running the ad like they would for the actual New Year's Evil or whatever. So yeah, I'm fucking, if it does, I mean, do I laugh? I don't know. People will just be like, Max, oh, you're piling on. Guys, it's like they're cooked. It's TNA versus AEW as far as I'm concerned. But as far as the news, it's like they have the best news and the funniest news, So if TNA starts being the lolcow news, okay. If I had a pod in 2000, whatever the fuck, when Hogan was there, okay. But for now, man, it's just the way it's going. And I don't want to I'll make a bold claim. Yes, the NXT rerun beats it in like the Rock segment beats whatever Collision's highest shit is. Okay, so I'm not going to say it beats it overall because they're the lead in and the whatever the fuck. I think the rerun, the Rock's part, beats whatever Collision's highest shit is. That's my prediction, okay? So hopefully I'm correct. And then Pliny and Pixlar for $10 says no buy to Jay.
It's great.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that? God damn it. I need that on the soundboard. 44 likes, but I haven't checked the other channel. If we listen, if we're not at 100 by the time we get through light news, Jericho might have to show up. All right. Oh my goodness. How you doing though, Plinian? Hope you're doing well. Dude, you know what I spent my afternoon doing to no avail that I got to restart from tomorrow? So Plinian was sending me the shit how to homebrew my Wii and turn it to an emulator. I don't know. I'm a complete noob. So I'm sure there's people raging somewhere at the way I'm explaining this, but I was trying to basically mod my Wii into an emulator, right? And I epically failed the first try, but I know how to do it, I think, now in hindsight. So, yeah. Shout out Pleiadian. High Life is a member for 1 month. Thank you so much. So you can, guys, 99 cents, become a member. Okay, fill the show for a minute before we get into light news. Scully Vibes for $2. Sub Phil Marks. Shout out PWT. Like. Yes, Marks is. I like it. I'm gonna adopt that. Okay. Yes, I'm doing well. How are you, Scully? Shout you out, and everyone run the likes up. Thank you so much. Okay, round of applause for everybody supporting the show. And let's dive into some hot news. So memes, we ain't got nothing. UFC, MMA. So TKO is in the process of putting together a boxing league in collaboration with Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund. So if you follow UFC, you kind of know Dana White was trying to get Zuffa boxing off the ground, which never really happened. But there you go. TKO's getting into boxing as well. So they have UFC, WWE, boxing, power slap. What else? Bull riding, legit. I think Dana White's on the fucking board of Facebook or something now. So, yeah, dude, I don't even know what to make of all that. But it's seriously like this Endeavor TKO thing's just getting bigger and bigger. Whitest Rabbit became a new member. Let's go. I meant to click bruv, but car crash was right there. Thank you so much. Okay, so moving along. What else do we got here? Miscellaneous news. All right. Let's scroll to the bottom. We have Stevie Richards getting some heat. Here's JBL, who tweets out that he literally just flew 875 miles to the middle of nowhere to hit a leprechaun with a trash can. You are welcome, Cole. So here we go. So that's Hornswoggle, I think. So instead of a lariat, he just shows up and whips a trash can. That's Swoggle. So that's hilarious. There's more, too. He shows up here at OVW. And this is that cash flow guy who was in the documentary, right? And he was like in the tanning booth, like tanning his ass and everything. It was hilarious. And here we go. He just clotheslined from Hellsum. And he sells it. The dude like face plants. It's quite funny. Here, I'm going to crack a White Claw. Who's with me? Cheers tonight, chat, or what? I'm drinking White Claws. Tony Khan. I swear I'm becoming Tony Khan.
Going on? I don't think JBL appreciates cash flow.
Look at how he sold that shit.
Did you see the rotation and airtime of cash flow?
Look at how he just lands on his neck. Like, what the fuck was that?
I don't think JBL appreciates cash flow. Oh, God! Oh, from hell!
Jesus.
Did you see the rotation and airtime of cash flow? Butter. Oh, come the hell on! What? Oh!
And then EC3 as well. EC3 eats a lariat, and he is doing like work for OVW. He has for a while, and NWA. That's sort of what he holds down, and it's crazy because they have a legit WWE superstar. If he was used fucking correctly, would have been, you know.
What the hell is happening? It's a clothesline from hell to EC3. Just when you thought the alliance was set there, but wait a minute.
And then whoever's on commentary, she's like, "Did you see the rotation?" And it's like, "What do you mean the half rotation?" Where he botched and landed on his fucking head. Jesus Christ. There's a clip going around of Rikishi like selling a lariat for China where he just, you know, fully does what that dude tried to do, but actually does it. And this guy, Cash Flow. But I don't know. The Cash Flow guy's funny. If you watch that doc, you're like, yeah, this is a good guy, you know? They're all good guys, right? Okay. White Claws and Addies. Let's go. No, I do not take Adderall, for the record. Here's more OVW wrestling. Unbelievable. Last night it was a wrestling legend against a social media star when we saw the return of Dude Love. So OVW, when's the last time Dude Love's been on TV? 1997? And I'm not kidding. Chat will let me know. When the hell, George will let me know. No. When's the last time Dude Love did anything? I don't think he's ever done the gimmick like even on the indies. So here we go. The return of Dude Love. Man.
What? No! Are you kidding me? Wait a minute.
And the veteran Jack Vaughn is in the ring. Shout him out.
What the hell was that?
Sure, the music get me in trouble. It always does. Just milking his return, dude. See, that's the thing. OVW puts on legit good shows. I swear. They after that Netflix thing, they parlayed it into like a YouTube presence. So I don't know. Make of it what you will. I want to see a Wrestler season 2, but like, what fed do you do it for? Do you just do OVW again? Because Al Snow's so goddamn interesting.
Have mercy. It has come to the dude's attention just who it was who ransacked and violated Mick Foley
And while Mick Foley is not yet in any shape to come back and
Is this lame or is this cool, chat? Let me. We're just watching OVW right now. NXT is now 13-2 against AEW with viewership for $2. Dude, we're gonna talk about that. And you know what? The meltdowns, like this is all it boils down to. In Canada, so like not only is Raw #1 in America and it's #1 in Canada, but then also SmackDown's like #2, and then it's #4, and then NXT's like #6. I'm gonna keep you guys updated, but we're gonna have all 3 shows in the rotation here. It just that alone destroys everything. So it just to me isn't I think the metric we got to go by is the houses, which doesn't look good for AEW either. But that, like, how else do you tell what's hot? Fuck the TV. We want to take that. We're still going to like take a look at ratings and stuff, but it's pretty much thus far determined. Max has 0 effect on the ratings. Like if you're being gracious, maybe like 25K difference, if that, you know, just from looking at the ratings, we look at them all the time. And Meltzer brings attention to them all the time. So here on PWT and like Awful Wrestling, and people do great work. Thurston, shout out Thurston. They do great work posting everything, right? And we look at it and it's like, okay, Dynamite got a 611,000. It's like, okay, maybe 20K we're watching on Max then. That's normally their normal numbers, like about that 630 or whatever lately. So like if they get a 660, 760, they're like, oh my God, big rating. So they're even saying it's like a bump up because the week before there was like a fucking college game. So it's just always going to, the ratings just, we can't even take that. I mean, Raw is doing the numbers it's doing, and it's doing, I don't know what it did. Or pardon me, what SmackDown's doing either, like as far as are the ratings down in Canada and shit. I don't know what games we're going to start playing here. All I care about is, look, who just got a TV deal or TV renewal? AEW. Who's getting more TV deals and shit? TNA. Who's doing 7K for their pay-per-views? TNA and AEW, you know, or aiming to. TNA's aiming to do that, and they're rocking with AJ Francis, and Nemeth just signed. We're gonna get into TNA news right after this. Is this lame though, chat? The dude loves stuff, or is this cool? Thank you. Sorry, I'm off rambling, but yeah, idea. Neither does Thurston. Uncle Dave doesn't have any Max numbers. We never will because they're inconsequential. They will never report inconsequential numbers. Do you get numbers for shows that are inconsequential ever from net? No, you fucking don't. If a stand-up comedy special goes on Netflix and you see it in passing and you don't hear about the shit it did it do anything? No. So love McFoley, lame. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we'll skip to the end, see if he gives anyone a mandible claw or a DDT or a pile driver or some shit. No, even the Twitter gods don't want us to do it. Okay, so we have a song written. This is by Becca Forever. Here's her latest track. Let's take a listen. We love BECCA with a 3 because she's cool here.
Ever been there? No. Am I the hottest there? Yeah, ho. Wicked in the west, like my skin's green. Green like the money I'm making. Stacking up the titles I'm taking. Been wicked in the east, that's Pissa. They said, Bex, do you wanna hit up dunks? Nah, I'm chilling at the beach with some hunks. Beck is cold and we're bored, please come back. I'm on the road, Kerouac, call me Jack. Okay, Jack. She doesn't even go here.
I'm on the road, Kerouac, call me Jack. Christ, shout out Becca with a 3 because she's cool. Right? I don't know. Moving along here. Ted DiBiase had this to share. He said it. Everybody's got a price. And he's right, especially on Fox News talking to Doug Ford about us becoming the 51st state, which that's another topic for another show. But this popped me because it's Ted DiBiase having a blast here. Trying to, man.
You say this isn't for sale, but everything has a price. The $1 Million Man says that. Can you think of this
Like I've always said,
instead of an acquisition?
everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man, even Jesse Waters.
Jurisdiction in 2 countries anywhere.
That's hilarious. Okay, that popped me. Yeah, sorry there. I'm like staring off at fights too. I'm sorry, guys. Here we go. Real Kurt Angle. It was an honor to be inducted into the International Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame today in Albany, New York. Thank you to all who attended the Wrestling Hall of Fame. Shout out Kurt Angle, one of the GOATs. Speaking of GOATs, here's a young GOAT. The playoff drip. The Houston Texans, okay, did like a Zilla Fatu Reps new playoff merch ahead of Texans versus Chargers. And he's like affiliated with them. They did a whole thing, you know, and he's not even signed to AEW or WWE. Obviously, he's going to WWE, though, let's be honest. And good for him. Like, this is the real deal Holyfield here, right? With Zilla. He's not even signed, like, anywhere major. But my belief is he's going right to WWE. Where else would he go? But an indie wrestler, man, and holding it down too. He improved. I'm telling you guys, this kid improved so much the last like 2 years, even 1 year. If you watch his indie shit, again, we were just watching OVW. Watch him, his minor appearances there. Pretty green. Watch what he's doing now. It's incredible in the shape he's gotten in, and then a deal like this for an indie guy. Wrestling's so hot right now, man.
Hey, Zilla Fatu, y'all already know what it is. The main one from Ace Time. Hey, January 11th, man. Y'all stay tuned, man. Y'all pull up. About to go crazy.
Yeah, that's legit, man. Shout out Zilla. Amazing. So this guy Garrett Kidney tweeted this out, and he was outraged by something Stevie Richards said. Steven Richards, of course, he does a podcast with WSI James, and I believe that's his name. And then he does a couple shows, I think, a couple different ones, or maybe it's just the one. And no, he does the one where he breaks down the botches too. And of course, BWO, he's a legend in my opinion, as far as just like, I'm a mark in pro wrestling in general. He wrestled for WCW, ECW, WWE, TNA, right? So he's been all over. And how did his old music used to go? I'll show you, you'll see. Do you guys remember that era? Or like Right to Censor, or the BWO stuff. Anyways, though, you guys all know who Steven Richards is, I know. But he said this about Mike Awesome, right? And I didn't even hear about this. I don't know where he said this. I listened to a lot of his clips online. So he goes, this is on Mike Awesome not having great ring psychology. For everything Mike Awesome could do athletically and physically, he had zero psychology. His psychology sucked. This is not your main course. This is like eating your ice cream first before the main course. It makes no sense. That's what makes me feel bad, because they made their mark here. But what memorable moment did Mike Awesome and Tanaka ever create? So, memorable moment, their one night stand match, but really think about it. Their matches, like Tanaka and Awesome, like the one night stand one is an AEW wet dream type match, right? They just did a bunch of shit. They had one opportunity on a WWE level pay-per-view to like do what they did in ECW at the one night stand. Awesome and Tanaka just left it out there, kicked out of every crazy move. It was ridiculous. The kickouts are ridiculous, but it is one of the fucking greatest matches ever, because in the context, people forget, okay? Think about the movie The Exorcist. Kids might watch that now and think that's not scary at all, because they're playing horror video games. They're seeing movies with CGI where there's demon fucking nuns floating across, like, you know what I mean? There's zombie. You watch Resident Evil, it looks like real zombies and shit, or whatever. You guys get what I'm getting at. Like, horror movies have advanced so much, but at the time that movie was so terrifying. The Exorcist. Even now, it's still scary, but maybe a better analogy is like Alien. Alien was terrifying when it first came out, even before my time. But in context to when it came out. But then you fast forward now and the xenomorphs aren't that scary because we've seen them for decades and decades and decades. But before people saw that shit everywhere, just on posters and t-shirts and video games and stuff, the xenomorph is like, holy fuck, it was this terrifying beast, So in context, right, to that one night stand match, that Mike Awesome Tanaka, that's a moment. That was some crazy shit that will always stand out in my mind. Their ECW matches, though, I was watching clips of one earlier because I'm like, I don't know. Let me go back and see. And I don't know. It looked like they were using psychology and they were having great matches. I'm a Mike Awesome fan, always have been. And I don't know if people are triggered by this. That it's his opinion, right? What moments did they create, though? I mean, on a WrestleMania level, probably not many, but Mike Awesome was like a polarizing figure in the pro wrestling world, no less. So, but I'm also a big mark for him. Chat will let me know, but it seems like mostly people agree with this Garrett Kidney guy, but he went off. He buries Steven Richards and he goes, wrestling is filled with ex-wrestlers who never made a meaningful impact on anybody in their life, criticizing insanely sick wrestlers that people fondly remember. Now, I don't know. Do people remember Steven Richards more or Mike Awesome more? Here, I'm going to put a poll in the Clips channel chat, okay? Who do you remember more? Stevie Richards or Mike Awesome? I want to know what you guys think, okay? In my opinion, they're pretty close for me. I'd say Steven Richards was more in my face because I was like the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression Era and on. And so, yeah, I think I may be fond, like if I had to objectively, or I guess it's more of a subjective thing, right? Because it's who I fucking fondly remember. And I'd maybe put my bet on Steven Richards, although I am a Mike Awesome mark. I always was. He was a dude that I never understood why he wasn't like a WWE champion, or at least in the conversation at one point. But I guess, he had problems or stuff behind the scenes. I don't know. Either way, I'm a, WCW fucked him up, all that stuff. So I think that's why. I think Stevie had more. And plus, like, I grew up playing No Mercy, right? Steven Richards was in that shit. He replaced Big Show or whatever. So he was like a focal point, and the Right to Censor were a focal point of that game. So maybe me personally, maybe more fondly, but I think I'd mark out if you were, who would you pay money? You could either pay money to go see the Stevie Richards match or this Mike Awesome match. I'd pay to see the Mike Awesome match personally. And that's not a knock on Stevie Richards either way. We're not trying to lower anyone. I'm just giving my opinion on this guy's opinion, right? So anyways, he says, what's worse is they're just regurgitating something a hack vet nobody cared about told them first. So he's referring to a hack veteran. Like, let's say Steven Richards was trained by, let's Google it. So who trained Steven Richards how to wrestle? Jimmy Jannetty trained him. So Jimmy Jannetty. Okay. I'm not sure. All I'm saying is this, Chad, okay? Let's not go knocking like the people who trained them and stuff like that. It was a completely different world and time then. We're talking there was no fucking internet, okay? So people who grew up TikTok dancing out of their mom's pussies when they were born, sorry. We're just gonna put it. But like for you people, I get it, scrolling internet everywhere. But for someone like Steven Richards or whoever trained him, it was just territories. It was a whole different universe or world. So you can't like knock them for teaching them what they knew at the time or whatever. Although I don't know Jimmy Jannetty is, but yeah, that's our miscellaneous news. Let's get into TNA news, chat. And I'm checking those likes right away. Okay. We don't got a lot here either. So, Via Fightful Gossip, Masha Slamovich, Ash by Elegance, and John Schuyler have all re-signed with TNA. And it is great news because they're heading into a new era. Well, they're in the new era, but 2025, man. If they can draw a house of like 6K for a pay-per-view, holy shit. I'll shit my pants. And Ash by Elegance will help them do that. Masha will help them do that. And this guy, thinking my hired or fired, I think I hired him. So let's go. TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth has signed an extension with TNA. His deal would have expired at the start of 2025, but the two sides came to terms on an extension. So that's the Hardys now. They re-signed AJ Francis. They re-signed Nick Nemeth. Who knows? So to me, they're going in the right direction. They're not overloading it with ex-WWE guys. They're just using WWE guys in key positions to help elevate other people and get more eyeballs. And hopefully they do something with this, man. And I want to see more NXT crossover for real. That can't be over, right? So I'm certain we're going to get Joe Hendry in the fucking Royal Rumble. And we're going to get Jordan Grace in the Rumble, but that's not TNA crossover. Although it'll come across that way, she's legit just with WWE, right? So they let her out of her shit early, I believe, to go to WWE and make the Rumble on time. So at least that's the rumor floating around. So, yeah, Nick Nemeth, shout him out. He said it. He wants to usher in, like he wants to help get TNA back on its feet, if it ever were on its feet. I think it was when a guy like Kurt Angle went over there, and that's what this is. Nick Nemeth is doing this Kurt Angle thing, sort of, you know, a guy that you'd think would be a WWE lifer. And no, he's like, no, I'm going to go here and actually wrestle a bunch and help elevate this other company. So, and he's got good opponents. I love it. Shout out TNA. And here's CM Punk shouting out Chris Bay after his match with Seth Rollins there on fucking Netflix. I think maybe it was off the air. Either way, though, huge, a babillion eyeballs.
This match is for Chris Bay. This match is for Chris Bay. This match is for Chris Bay.
There you go. This match is for Chris Bay, and we pray for Bay. Hope he gets better. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was light news, and we'll check in with Super Chats, guys. Sorry about that. Had to get through the light news there. Okay. So here, I got Super Chats. I see them. Plenty and Pixel Art for $10 says, DiBiase still has the best laugh in the business. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Money, 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 money. Oh! Yeah, dude, I love it, and I'm glad that he's still getting shout-outs too on like Fox and stuff like that. As long as he doesn't show up on Raw and try and shill some shitty beer, we're all good, right? Thank you, Plinian. Okay, Haxel Stranger for $2 says, should I go to the New Japan show tonight in San Jose? Here, let's ask LA Knight.
Dummy, yeah.
No, I mean, I would, but I'm an Uber mark. I mean, what's even on the card? They have such bad promotion and their US TV deal's done because AEW. So just blaming them. But no, think about it. Wrestle Kingdom drew 24K, just New Japan guys. And then all the New Japan guys did Wrestle Dynasty the next night, and it only drew 16K with the AEW guys. What does that fucking tell you? Okay. Shadow Bat Ash for 20 boners. Oh my goodness. Here, we're gonna give you an air horn. Me and my cousins and you and your cousins, a line that is always running. Me and my cousins and you and your cousins. I can feel it coming. Can't wait for the debut of Zilla and Hikuleo at their sign. Okay. So here's the thing. Here, let me check in. So thank you, Ash, because you just reminded me of the poll. I'm going to end this poll. Pause. Right? We're going to end this poll. What did you guys vote? I don't know, man. It's not popping up. Weird. Weirdos. We're just weirdos. Let me refresh. There. The poll shall pop up, hopefully. Did it end for you guys in the chat? What's the percent? My shit's botching. Yes, okay. Stevie Richards, 80%. Mike Awesome, 20%. See, so I wasn't capping there. It's no knock on Mike Awesome. Like, if he was in the Attitude Era, we'd all be like... Or he was, but he just... You know, he wasn't in, like, WWE and in WCW. They fucked with him. But anyways, I'm going to put a new poll in the chat. Thanks to Ash here, who just reminded me. Start a poll. Do you think Hikuleo and Zilla will debut together? So the question is, do they debut together? And I want you guys to answer, because I've been thinking about that lately. Did they debut at the same time? And we know that I think Lance Anuai is in NXT, another one of the cousins. So do we see Jacob split up and start his own bloodline with like 3 new youngsters or a couple new young dudes? And then you have Solo with a couple dudes, and then you got Roman with a few dudes, and maybe The Rock or whatever the fuck. Who knows, right? The Rock's in the mix now. So I don't know. It's so interesting. I'm still so curious. I thought I'd be over the bloodline shit, but then Jacob shows up on SmackDown just ripping fucking gravy promos. So it's like he could be the new Solo after Solo. You guys know what I mean? Roman can move on to Rock, and then you have Solo and Jacob duke it out for who's the tribal chief and shit. Easily. And it doesn't ruin any of it, and it's all still connected, and people would be interested. I don't know. So I want thank you, Shadow Bat. Everyone we'll round of applause everyone here. We got a lot of super chats here. Thank you so much. Ray J's World for $5. Hey Phil, is the ad breaks on Netflix in Canada annoying? Yes, because it plays this beat that's like, so what it is, it'll be different lighting setup, and then different superstars doing their poses and shit, right? In like slow-mo. And it is really cool. The production aspect of it looks sweet, right? So if you're watching NXT, the commercial will be like Obafemi hulking up or Julia or whatever, and then it'll transition to the different women or whatever. Each commercial is sort of different. Sometimes they focus on one person the whole time. Sometimes they focus on myriad of people the whole time. And then on Raw, it's Raw Superstars, etc. Now, what's annoying is, sorry, on the bottom as well that I really like, it says welcome, or we'll be right back, pardon me. And then the graphic shifts over to like Spanish that says we'll be right back. And then it switches over to English again. Then it switches over to French, then English, then like Turkish, then English, then like, so, you know, whatever these languages are, they do like a million of them. Clever shit, right? And but what's annoying about them is the music. It's like boom, dum, 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 dum. It's like bad video game music, or you know, bad loading screen music from a game when you were a kid. It gets imprinted in your mind, and you don't, you know what I mean? That's how it comes across to me. So I'll mute or turn the volume down, and then, but they have a timer in the top corner, which I don't mind either. It tells you how long the breaks are. But during the Raw Netflix thing, debut, pardon me, it was like doing storyline shit with the New Day and Karrion Kross and stuff and the Miz during the commercial. So I was hoping they'd do more of that, or just give recaps of or like, here, go to WWE shop, or fucking here's, I don't know what I was expecting. But yes, it is annoying, but it's better than seeing the same like Whopper, chicken Whopper. You know what I mean? It's better than seeing those same fucking commercials all the time that are like, oh, this pill gives you heart attacks and death and nausea and more death and headaches and nosebleeds and death. You know, it's better than listening to shit like that. So thank you very much. Merge for $5 says TNA going beast mode. Go ahead with a sicko mode in 2025, perhaps. Yeah, they are. They're aiming to do like 7K for pay-per-views and shit. PLEs, they call them. TNA and African NXT stomping AEW who? Oh, and Dave Meltzer is a goddamn liar. Bro, you just came in here and dropped bars. What
Liar! Liar! Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
Yeah, they are going beast mode. TNA and African NXT stomping AEW who? Oh, and Dave Meltzer is a goddamn liar. That he is. And thank you for that. I can't really add anything to that, but damn, you just dropped bars. I like the flow of how you said that. Devo became a YouTube member. Here we go. Let's go. Appreciate you. 99 cents, chat, or more if you want. You know, it helps me do this more and more, but hey, it's up to you, or get a super chat. I appreciate you all. We're going to give a round of applause, all you motherfuckers. Rabid Wolverines LC Killer 17 for $5 says me. My house, welcome to my house. Play that music so loud. We don't have to go. You know what I mean? I miss that. What was that, like 2K15? Me, my house is on fire. Hulk Hogan, boo me again, brother. Yeah, I know. There's so many people I don't mean to laugh whatsoever, but there's so many celebrities like shilling their shit still. I think Kim Kardashian, I'm seeing, and other people are. It's like, dude, half your city's burning. Is it not? Like, what are you guys? I'm not laughing at that. It's like just how out of touch these motherfuckers are. And that Hulk move, I saw a conspiracy theory. Let me give you an X-Files. I saw a conspiracy theory online, right? White Claw, raspberry flavor. That Triple H did that purposefully to get back at Hogan for when he had to drop the title to him or whatever the fuck. Something like that. I can't remember what the theory was. I don't know. I just butchered it, I bet. But thank you guys. Oh my God. And then another one flies in. I love you so much. George, chat wants Jericho 80 likes. Oh, okay. Do you guys really want it? Yeah, see, I don't know if you guys really want it or not. Well, let me just think about it, okay? Thank you so much. Round of applause and acknowledgement for the...
Acknowledge me!
And joining us on the show is... You guys know the music, right?
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Let me get wild. Yay!
Did the troll work with the Stone Cold music or no? People are so mad. Look, Chad, I'm sorry. I mean, what do you want me to do? You got to run those likes up to 100, bro. Jesus. And thank you if you liked on both channels. I really appreciate you. It's split, man. It's like a sicko and wacko war between who likes Jericho and who doesn't. I swear to God. Look, my ears are bleeding. You know what I mean? We are the youth gone wild, neck and neck. Okay. So it is what it is, guys. You got to deal with it. Okay. So moving along, what do you guys want for, look, Freddie Velasquez. Been a big fan watching all your posts on YouTube. Finally getting a chance to watch live. Keep up the amazing work. Dude, thank you so much. Everyone, round of applause for Freddie. First time tuning into the show. And everyone who left the show is going to come back. And I know that shit. You know how I know that shit? Because what the fuck else were you going to do? Go watch fucking Andrew Zarian or some shit? No. But for real. It's 30 seconds, guys. We'll survive. Freddie, thank you, chat. Round of applause for Freddie joining us here today. What an amazing guy tuning in. Okay, Devo for $5. Dave voice. Osprey. The best guys, Tony Khan. I can't find it now. Here we go.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Okay, it's Botchamania over here. Osprey. Okay, we got a lot of that tonight. We got to get to some stuff here, okay? And Brad Becker, by the way, happy birthday, too. Okay, round of applause. Listen, super chatters, everyone, round of applause. Let's get into our next. If I miss any super chats for a minute, it's because if I miss anything in chat or super chats for a minute, it's because we're getting into the next segment, and it is called Not Dave Meltzer's. We're going to get into, you guys want AEW news here. We got to bring the viewership back here, right? Because I just pissed all over your heads with the Jericho stuff. So, as you guys can see, we are in our news segment. Okay. So, let's see the many faces of Tony Khan. Those spoken within AEW were of the belief. Now, this is gossip here from Fightful Gossip, but those spoken within AEW were of the belief that Malakai Black was finishing up with AEW if he hadn't already. They did not clarify if he'd be appearing on TV again. Dave Meltzer then followed this up, and he's like, well, we don't know if he is, but if he is, then and he isn't, and we said it, then you can't be mad at us because we just said what we're hearing, and people at AEW think he's leaving. So it's like, why would you report that? Imagine someone just fucking with your livelihood like that. Not to sound lame, but Dave's just out there going, oh, well, if Malakai's mad at us for saying this, listen, actually, actually. But for real, he's just like, oh, if they're mad at us, that's what they think at AEW. What the fuck? Why would you say that? Imagine if he didn't know that either. And he's like, oh, they think I'm leaving, but I'm not. Imagine if he's not leaving and Dave just said that. It's just insane. But anyways, we'll roast Dave more later. But yeah, Malakai Black. Here, I'll end this poll in chat. Do you guys, you can just tell me, do you guys want to see Malakai Black back in the Federation or no? Let me know. Some people are shitting on him, of course, the usual suspects. He was great in WWE. It was just Vince's era of not pushing people properly. A bunch of guys he fumbled that Triple H brought back. Why wouldn't he bring Malakai's wives there, The Von Erichs have officially signed with AEW ROH via the Claw podcast / Fightful Gossip. So I don't know. I think the Claw podcast and the Von Erichs confirming it means more than Fightful's gossip. No, chat? Am I wrong on that? So either way, kind of cute that way that Wrestling Covers did that. But yes, they signed with AEW officially. So good for them. I mean, the Von Erich boys, good for that family. Here is Alfred Konuwa. Speaking of African NXT, the man who coined that term. If AEW's locker room is any more elderly, it would be a very old man who walks around naked at 24-hour fitness. Well, I'll let him tell you guys the rest. Shout out Pro Wrestling Bits, Alfred Konuwa. And I'm going to get him on the show again here, hopefully soon. Hopefully very soon for you guys. But here we go. Here is Alfred Konuwa.
AEW turned 6 years old in 2020.
It's crazy it's 6, hey? It's crazy. It is 6 years goddamn old now. That is amazing. Right? The better half of a decade. On its way to fucking 10 years. It'll last 10 for sure.
5. But after another baffling episode of Dynamite, AEW is 6 going on 60. AEW is fighting an uncool problem that they're highly unlikely to win. But if they're going to turn things around, they're not going to do it with aging wrestlers in the main event. So how then is AEW planning to combat its uncool problem? With aging wrestlers in the main event, duh! If AEW...
Who did he put in the thumbnail? Who's in the picture? Mox? And then Edge? And then who's that in the middle? I can't even tell. Is that Orange Cassidy?
Duh! If AEW's locker room was any more medieval, its top stars would be walking around with their dicks out like every old man at 24-hour fitness. AEW is so retired, and they just can't hide it. AEW Dynamite's new theme song is literally I'm So Excited by the Pointer Sisters, which came out in 1982. The promotion is also going to bring back Elton John's Saturday for its...
And that shit came on the radio in the car today. No pop. Zero pop for that shit. From the wife. You know what I mean?
B-show Collision, which came out in 1973. AEW Rampage is also imitating old people because now it's dead. Even if Rampage was still alive, its theme song would probably be all like, thank you for being friends. Let's drive this.
Yes, the Golden Girls, dude. That's for their women's show.
Joke into the ground with a...
No, I don't think...
live look at the AEW women's division.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't watch this before, I swear. God damn it. Of course, yeah, he nailed that.
Thank you for being a friend.
Tony Khan's assistant booker is 65-year-old Dave Meltzer, whose idea of cool is using imaginary stars to grade fake wrestling matches. Unfortunately, all the jests for men in the world doesn't change the fact that Dave Meltzer is an old fuck. In other words, his hair has dye in it.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, the old podcasters. It's like, who are you talking about, Dave Meltzer?
And he just can't hide it. Okay.
Jesus, Alfred Konuwa cooking. Moving along here. So, Mercedes Mone not only, well, we'll circle back to that. So Malakai Black will reportedly become a free agent around February or March and is not expected to make any more AEW appearances before his contract expires. So this is what I mean. Like, what did he ever do?
You what?
To Tony Khan or anyone for him to have to not be featured on TV? Instead of like building up an angle, having their trios like drop the belts or challenge the champions and, you know, anything like that. But without him putting anyone over, they just separated Julia Hart, separated Brody King, separated Buddy, and then Aleister Black's just going to leave with no explanation. And he's just going to sit home. That's some bullshit. You know what I mean? Moving along here. So, Maria Kanellis. As things stand, Maria Kanellis Bennett's deal with AEW is set to expire at the end of January per Fightful Gossip. And yeah, so shout out Maria. Hopefully, you know, her husband can continue to keep his job and do whatever he's doing with Adam Cole there. You know, she's a legend, could go to WWE and make a little appearance or something. Not that I'm saying bring everyone in or she needs a spot or she should manage, but the Women's Rumble's coming up, you know. She could valet, maybe not even any of that. She could just be one of the legends that pops up at various events or something, you know. Go on a Legends deal, get in the video games and stuff. That's what she should do, I think, right at this stage and juncture of her career. And Mike Bennett's a good hand, but he's just wrapped up in obscurity in AEW, unfortunately, which I have on the screen here waiting for Collision to start. Kenny Omega versus Katsuchika Okada is planned for AEW All in Texas. Of course it is, Dave. Of course it is, bud. You think we didn't know that? But whatever, he's stooging it now before they can tell us on the TV show, which is so funny. It's so funny that, just like Konoha said, basically Tony Khan's assistant booker is Meltzer. But Meltzer doesn't, he still stooges their shit. But he's like texting Tony about storylines and shit. It's so stupid. You know, Tony Khan needs to get his head out of his ass, you know? Anyways, so Venue Sports, the proposed virtual MVPD service from ESPN, Fox, and Warner Bros. Discovery will be discontinued. The collective decision by the three companies not to move forward with the contemplated joint venture is effective immediately. So they scrapped this thing, right? It was this sports joint venture thing, and AEW could have been a part of that. Could have been featured on this streaming, whatever the fuck. Or it's a virtual MVPD service. So I don't know what that is. Sounds like police or something. I don't know. But I tweeted out, WBD is going bankrupt. DC Comics is fucked. If that Superman movie doesn't work, we'll never see a DC universe on screen again. They're shelving movies with John Cena and Batgirl. They shelved as well. They hit almost $10 billion from public investors. Analysts say the WBD merger is one of the worst flops in history. And Dave Meltzer expects us to believe in 3 years AEW will make $555 million in profit from them. And I just don't know, dude. I just don't see that fucking happening. Not that much. So, and Dave saying, oh, there's $3.6 million checks rolling it out. Okay. Which young buck did that cover to go to Japan? You know? And I just don't think it'll... I told you guys earlier, AEW will be around for the next 10 years, or even they'll last another 4 for sure and hit that decade mark. I didn't say nothing about TBS or anything. I don't know. They might have to ditch and try their hand at something else eventually if this WBD shit folds or whatever. But they're just in trouble, man. WBD's in trouble. They're not making good business decisions. Zaslav's the shits, and people wonder why we are weary of just believing whatever Meltzer's saying. A fucking known liar. Speaking of Malakai Black, Julia Hart here with Denise Salcedo. Julia Hart gives her comments. She's asked directly about Malakai Black staying in AEW or whatever. And I think this response is utterly professional. Julia Hart, a solid athlete, needs work in the ring, great character work, understands what she's doing with these vignettes, really came into her own. A good wrestler, just not exceptional or anything like that, and has had some injury problems because of how they work in WWE. If NXT got their hands on her, she'd be the next Tiffy, you know, honestly. And I don't mean the same type of character, but the next huge prospect, homegrown, I feel like. But she's homegrown in AEW, so good for them. This would be someone I'd be pushing more. But either way, though, Malakai sort of took her under her wing. They're in House of Black. And just this response is so professional. She's wise beyond her years, and she gets it. So here we go.
There's a lot of reports out there right now in the news about Malakai Black.
And shout out Denise Salcedo as well. No, I don't want to take any credit from her either for asking the question. A lot of people give her shit, but she can get away with asking these questions, right? That other people wouldn't dare. Like the Bray Wyatt shit. I get it. It's fucking distasteful or whatever in the time, but she can get away with doing that, you know? So let her get away with asking these questions, because I like to hear the answers to them. I might not like how we got the answers, but anyways.
Probably no longer being with AEW. Obviously, nothing has been confirmed or official. However, Julia, I do want to get your thoughts on that. How you would feel if that was the situation, if that was the case, and, having worked with Malakai Black so closely, how would that also impact what you, Brody, and Buddy have been doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it will be okay, and whatever he decides to do with his career is his business, and I wish him all the best no matter what. He has been such a great rock for me, and I appreciate everything he's ever done with me, but also the rumors aren't confirmed or anything, so I don't know what exactly is going on. Anything could be happening. We don't know. So it's just a matter of fact of what.
If Malakai doesn't come out and talk shit to everyone for assuming he's leaving, then we know he's actually leaving. But if he comes out and is like, everyone shut up, then we know he's staying.
Whatever happens, and I'm happy for him no matter what happens. And I think House of Black will be okay no matter what happens. I think I'll keep destroying the women's locker room. Brody and Buddy will destroy the men's locker room. Everything will be okay, and I am happy for everybody no matter what.
That's good. Get your ass to NXT. I'm just going to say it. Am I going to be the one to say it? So, Ref MJ from NJ, look, AEW's hiring. You too could get a job in AEW. Will Washington, come on down. So, yeah, dude, they're looking for a director of media and partnership sales to drive the growth of our sponsorship business. The role will focus on developing sponsorship sales across AEW's portfolio of assets. Oh, man. You guys should apply for that, no? Anyone in chat got a sales background? Help them out a bit. So, yeah, they're hiring. It's funny, though, because read the top of this. Founded by CEO, GM, and head of creative Tony Khan in 2019, AEW is offering an alternative to mainstream wrestling with a roster of world-class talent that is injecting new spirit, freshness, and energy. And then MJ from NJ points out, he's like, most companies, when they post jobs online, put the about company name at the bottom. AEW wants the very first thing the applicants see to be that Tony Khan is chief everything officer. That kind of tells you a lot about how AEW thinks about potential hires. It's so fucking true, man. That's hilarious. So the Mole says, okay, actual shots fired. It'll never happen. That's not a shock, I know. I'm pretty sure there would be a mass walkout. So this Dame Mega says, I would like to see you versus Tessa Blanchard after Jordan Grace is done with her. And then Deonna Purrazzo's like, nah. She's just like, oh, hell no. To the no. Moving along here, Jamie Hayter is set for an indie wrestling return for the first time since 2022. I know she's been injured, but
the best
listen,
guys, Tony Khan.
I fucking call it, man. This is how it starts. Hayter said some shit about Punk. She's like, if you don't listen to Punk, you're a fool. Then she's unhappy with her booking because she comes back after being a women's champion and she's just being booked like shit. losing to people. And then there you go. Has to go take a goddamn indie date. So that's all I'm saying, man. Notice the patterns. We'll chronicle this as we go. Here is a guy. Now, I don't know who this is. I can't see his fucking... Oh, there it is. Wrong Wrestling. Okay. I'm going to find this motherfucker and follow him because this is hilarious, and he's just mimicking Tony Khan. I have no idea who this dude is. Wrong Wrestling. Chat, if you know him, link us up. I don't know. But here, they're fucking... He's just roasting Tony Khan here, like copying his faces.
Corey Lee with the Wrestling Observer. Now, there has been what I would consider a lot of chatter online, negativity in regard to and obviously you're just coming off a brand new television deal.
I know. That's what it is. Oh, is there? That's what I was doing on the street. Is it? Oh, is it? Really? Oh, we got a deal. Is it? It's the funniest shit ever. Sorry, this guy's cooking him, but what was Tony? That's how you know it's fake, because that was Tony trying to act normal as if it was a normal question. Because it's overly insane, you know?
Smile again. Oh, confused. Oh, take a weird drink.
That festers online. And basically done for almost
Negativity online? I've never seen it.
Maybe a little bit. That's the most interesting thing in the world, right? Tony's face. Oh, really? I've never pontificated that before.
Hey.
You know, having your best year that you've had since you've online. And, you know,
This is so funny.
It's difficult. It's hard. It's hard to watch if you're a fan of AEW. In regards to, and it's bad faith, negativity as well.
What in the fuck?
God damn it. That's so funny. And shout out Wrong Wrestling for baking his ass. So speaking of baking, Mercedes Mone has increased the ratings, I guess, a bit, has 4 belts now. There's, a boost in viewership in other companies, I guess, other than AEW. And she's also mad. She's also angry. Okay. She calls out old guy podcasters, Meltzer, for mocking her vision of women's wrestling. We're going to get to that, but exclusive. Mercedes Mone's women's title win leads to immediate boost in Rev Pro on-demand subscribers. Okay? Now, we're not going to Dave Meltzer this, but according to Coataholic, Rev Pro, it's like a British thing, she got a boost in their subscribers. So apparently they think she's going to be making a bunch of Rev Pro fucking dates. But either way, I guess shout out Rev Pro and good for them. But and speaking of which, before her match where she won the 2, so I figured it out. I deciphered what it was. She has the New Japan Strong Women's title, and she has the Women's TBS title from AEW. And then the undisputed British Championship is the Rev Pro and that other fucking belt, and Mina had both of them. So even though it said for the undisputed British Championship, and that sounds like it's one title, the undisputed championship is actually what you refer to the amalgamation. Like if you have both fucking the Rev Pro title and this other women's title from the UK. So that's why she has 4 belts now. Okay. I deciphered the code here. Anyways, Mercedes Mone reveals she had a panic attack before Wrestle Dynasty when she wrestled Mina at the Tokyo Dome. I've had nerves and butterflies for all of my big matches. My match at the Tokyo Dome against Mina was somehow different. From the moment I landed in Japan, where I actually bawled my eyes out with both disbelief and gratitude, to the morning of the event, where I had an actual panic attack, making history was the last thing on my mind. Keva could see my condition on the bus ride and asked, Are you nervous, or just excited? I replied, both. Truly, it was my lifelong dream to have a match at this level at the Tokyo Dome. So I was beyond excited. Along with the rich wrestling history, I feel as though in some strange way, Japan, like Mexico, is another home. Yet, for all of my joy, I was likewise petrified. I didn't want to let the promoters down. I didn't want to let the fans down. I didn't want to let Mina down. I especially didn't want to let Tony Khan or Jen Pepperman down. Just kidding. I added that part. I want New Japan and all promotions globally, for that matter, to know that we female athletes deserve a prominent recognition and a prominent place on the card. Ooh. So there you go. That's the Mone Meg right there. And yeah, that's her thoughts on her panic attack. No Rhea Ripley. No, I'm just joking. To compare the things are so stupid, but saw some people doing that. So Mercedes Moné isn't holding back. She's mad when it comes to critics in her Moné MAGA newsletter. Okay. I'm sure chat is so mad. I'm going to look at chat in a minute. You guys are going to be like, what the fuck? Here we go. Whew. When I left WWE, the goal was to elevate women's wrestling and create more global opportunities. Many of the old guy podcasters mocked me for that, Monet wrote. She credited Tony Khan for supporting her mission, saying, shout out to Tony Khan, forgetting that supporting so many promotions and especially allowing Mia to do so. Despite criticism from figures like Eric Bischoff, Monet has remained focused on her goal of advancing women's wrestling worldwide. So old podcasters, then Ringside News, just throw Bischoff in there. You what? Yeah, my thoughts on that. Let her try and do that. She's just going to do a belt collector thing. I hope she doesn't get injured again. Honestly, I'm not hoping that whatsoever, because that would fuck up so much that she has going right now in different companies and like what they're projecting to do. So if I'm her, I just focus on staying healthy and let the other women worry about themselves. No, but really, that is what she's doing. Like, otherwise she'd tell Tony, no, Camille has to be here doing an angle. We got to work this out. If you're trying to elevate women's wrestling, you just let Camille off on an island to die out of nowhere. You know, you took all that fucking money and that's solid. Look at the women in NXT, you know, so she's trying to push women's wrestling globally. That's sweet. Good for her. And she does do that, you know, she is a name, but yeah, one day she'll be back in WWE. Ultimately, they always come back. And then all of this shit will sound like bullshit to the sickos, and they'll all be like, fuck you, you didn't, whatever. Unless Tony just pays her like tens of millions forever. And yeah, she did help elevate women's wrestling in WWE, though. You have to give her credit for that. But ultimately, her and Mina elevating, hopefully, you know, Mina was helping Stardom get some views. You know, they're better attendances lately or whatever. So shout her out. And that, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for AEW news as we continue to watch Big Bill versus Edge. Let's get into some WWE news as I check in with chat. I promise I'm coming to check with chat. Okay, super chat's here. Merge for $2 says, oh, come on now, Phil. That's not very fair.
Oh, come on now, Eric.
That's not very fair to do Mercedes Moné voice like that for so long.
Come on now, Eric.
I don't think that's healthy for AEW or New Japan to do Mercedes voice that much. LMAO, Devo for $5. LMAO. I assume you're laughing at the fucking. Thank you, bro. It's ridiculous. Thank you. Nick Chivers for £5. Bruv says Dave sells crusty newsletters from his mom's basement for a living and has the audacity to pretend he understands business. He can't even clean his own room. Bro, listen, are you from the UK or what? What the fuck is with like Wrestle Talk and Cultaholic and the UK newsletters and shit being real down with Dave Meltzer?
Guys, Tony Khan.
And like buying tickets to see his events and lining up to fucking ask him Mark ask questions when he's just a Mark motherfucker. You know? I don't get it. It's not like he's funny or witty or charming or clever or anything. Like, I don't get it. You explain it to us. But yeah, dude, exactly. He's not the one who should be talking about TV executives and shit. Or many people in TV, many TV executives, can't name one. The only ones we see him interact with are telling him he's wrong on Twitter. Ray J's World, which we'll get into later. Ray J's World for $5 says TK will be shoving money into AEW even after Daddy. Okay, well, I'm not gonna read the last part. Stupid idiot. No, I love you. Ray J's World. I love you, dude. I'm joking, but no, like, yeah, you're right. If God forbid, I've said it on the show, God forbid if Shad Khan were to pass, like, God forbid, I really don't hope that happens, but let's say that were to happen, right? What do you think he's going to do with his inheritance then too? Or he takes over his dad's stuff. Like, do you think he's going to give up on wrestling? No, this is all you have to compare it to. Fuck, like talking about Shad and that. I don't want to bring families into it and shit, but Dixie Carter, if she could keep the shit alive, Tony Khan will keep his shit alive as long as humanly possible, right? Thank you, Ray J's World. Round of applause. Let's acknowledge one more time. Okay, let me see.
Acknowledge me.
And round of applause for Super Chat as we get into WWE hot news. Because we got some WWE hot news here as Edge makes the classic Edge I'm shocked face. All right. So I'm going to just keep my eye on this as I drink some White Claw, and then we'll get into the news. Jericho's yelling on commentary. He's wearing an I Heart Chris Jericho tee. So Edge cheats. See, this tweener bullshit in AEW is so stupid. So Big Bill is what happened was he's laying on his back and then he powers up, grabs Edge by the throat and is about to choke slam him or some shit. Edge fucking runs into Bryce Remsburg, kicks Big Bill in the balls, spears him, elbows him like the way Moxley would, and then chokes him out. And it's just like, man, could you shit in fucking Big Bill's mouth more than that? Oh my God. 17 fucking finishing moves. And then Jericho and Keith run in. So bad. You ain't hype for $20. Holy shit, man. Thank you so much. Let's give him a fucking air horn. Amazing. X-Files. Oh, you need an X-Files too? You got it, buddy. Get a yeet for you ain't hype. Here's the X-Files, okay? Both bloodlines will unite and screw Cody over. The way the tag match played out on Friday screams betrayal. When Cody dipped on Jimmy, that sealed the deal. It will be a slow burn, however I see this happening. Oh, so like Roman and them slowly merging with the other bloodline. I don't know, man. I could see Solo and Jacob going at it, but goddamn, that's a good idea too. Like fully full circle where they're heels. But then what happens? You do the breakup again and all that stuff, or does Sammy break off from them again? I see where you're going with that, though. That's not a terrible idea. And then, yeah, Cody dipped on Jimmy. The way the tag match played out on Friday screams betrayal. See, they're teasing something with Cody, too, where he's going to go, like, fully heel. I feel that, you know? People got mad at Husey for making predictions like that on the show, but, hey, what are you going to do? He just said the shit. So that could be a slow burn too. I don't know. The bloodline stuff is still compelling to me. Now, I'm not sitting here and saying every solo match is the greatest match I've ever seen. But Roman and them, Jacob, it's just all so good. Heyman's out there reminding us of what we need to be reminded of, etc. So keep us updated on that. You ain't hype? Because that's a good goddamn theory there. You know, I could see there being like 3 bloodlines, though. Do you think that's too much, Chad, or what? 3 bloodlines, like minier ones, like 3 guys on each team throwing down, like Sammy and the Usos versus Solo and the Tongans versus Jacob and Hikuleo and Zilla, or Hikuleo and Lance Hawaii or whoever's in it, right? Like, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that either. And then you kind of have like the tweener group and Jacob, like we want to cheer for him, but he's still like real badass and crazy, but he's beating up Solo. So, and then you have the baby, I don't know, or like Roman and the Usos as well. Doesn't have to be Sammy. Anyways, we're all fantasy mark booking here. Round of applause for our goddamn super chatters as we get into WWE news. Oh, well, that one's empty. Better get another White Claw. So WWE and Netflix have announced that Raw's debut on the platform averaged an audience of 2.6 million households live and same day. This is an increase of 116% compared to the average on the USA Network. And this isn't counting days later. Like Netflix, they'll say, oh, after a week, here's the number, or streaming minutes this month and shit. We don't know how much streaming minutes with the archives. Wait till they drop a headline on us like WWE did 4 billion streaming minutes if you count all their shit and archives included in the last month or whatever. I guarantee we're going to see some crazy shit like that too. Ref MJ from NJ was pissed because he came on the live and was like, Netflix isn't going to say their big number right away. He's like, because they have a headline here that is #1 trending. And then he messaged me and he's like, I'm pissed because I said on the show that. And then the very next day, Netflix released the shit. And I'm like, don't worry about it, man, because they did wait, you know, a little bit. And maybe they just didn't have the full numbers or whatever. But I think they're going to have bigger numbers to tout, and there's more stuff to milk out of it. But either way, they're saying like it's 4.9 million if you factor in the 2.5 people and the average of what would be watching. You know, they break it all. They do the Steiner math and the Meltzer math and all that. But yeah, shout them out. Just amazing that they did that much. And I saw bigger numbers too than I think the 2.6. It works out to be something bigger than that, I believe. Someone in chat could correct me on that. But yeah, I definitely am excited. And people are saying it's going to go down and down. But what if the next Raw gets more? We just don't know, man. It could be more. We saw the videos on the last live show of all the ladies melting over Reigns and being like, oh, shit, I'm a WWE fan now. Right? And I know people are like, they're not actually going to watch, but no, they do, bro. Okay? They will. Here's the other thing. I'm doing Monday PWT live shows now to go along with WWE. So I'm going to make a new song for Mondays, and then I'll let you guys vote. I think Saturdays will be for the Sicko song. Wednesday will be the Jericho song. That will be, and then I'm going to make a new theme song for Monday. But if it's not done by Monday, and it'll be more WWE focused. Don't fucking get mad at me, chat. Okay. I got to grind it out, but I'm doing a lot of other stuff, and I'm dropping I dropped like 3 or 4 today, and we're doing the stream, and we did another pod. So it's amazing shit. And it's all because of you guys, man, that I keep going so fucking hard. There's so many of you now. I'd be letting so many people down if I just stopped doing that. Imagine if I disappeared. What would you all do? Go back to fucking Fightful Gossip and Meltzer or what? Where would you guys go? I don't know. So I got to keep doing this more and more. So Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays. That's the live show schedule. Anyways, shout out WWE, shout out Netflix. They're crushing the game. Top 10 TV show on Netflix in Canada. This was, I believe, NXT. Yeah, see that? Number 6. Number 6 on Netflix in Canada. I don't know. I'd have to see the Netflix Canada numbers. I have no clue. But I'll tell you this. I'm willing to bet that's close to Dynamite numbers just alone on that. Probably. It's not like I know that there's like more people in New York than there is in all of Canada. I'm talking shit. I'm not saying 600K, but God damn it, that are watching on Max Dynamite. I bet NXT's beating Dynamite on Max even. So just throwing that out there. Let's see what else here. Here's Kieran Culkin. So he wasn't sitting with his brother Macaulay, but they've been going to wrestling shows forever, their entire lives. And he meets CM Punk for the first time, and he won a Golden Globe. the night prior. So let's see this interaction.
Massive fan. Did you just like win an award? Last night I won a Golden Globe. That's how I celebrate. Congratulations. I won too. I saw that.
I won a Golden Globe. Oh, I won my match. I saw that. I don't know. Just a cute little interaction. Okay, here it is. So Raj Giri comes with the real numbers. He says WWE and Netflix announced that Monday's WWE Raw garnered 4.9 million viewers. Yo. And that's Netflix saying that shit, dude. Let's fucking go. So people are saying, oh, it'll go down. Okay, but what if next week it doesn't? What if they tip like a 5? That's all I'm saying. Invite a friend over next week, guys, and say, you know, that's all I'm saying. That wrestling's back, dude. It's fucking mainstream. It's hot again. Number 1 on Netflix means mainstream in anyone's eyes. Was the Tom Brady roast not the most mainstream thing where everyone's talking about it on every fucking podcast ever after it happened? All of this shit. Is Squid Game's not the biggest thing? WWE is the number 1 shit on Netflix, boys and girls and germs, right? And theys and thems. Right? So anyways, though, in the US, the show averaged 2.6, and this is globally. Sorry, so that was the number. I fucked up before. Or I didn't fuck up. I'm fucking up now. 2.6 million in the US and then 4.9 globally, man. Amazing. So I'm not going to read all the analytics of it, but Rod's dropping the real data. And then Meltzer, of course, has to go, I'm going to have some conflicting numbers. I'm going to come with some stats and some data that doesn't really match with what other people are saying, Tony on. So Eric Bischoff quote tweets it and says, and according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, there are 2.5 persons per household. That means approximately 6 million plus viewers in the U.S. alone. Nielsen reports total viewers, not households, apples to apples. This is incredible. So Bischoff, with his knowledge and experience, saying it's actually more like 6 million plus viewers total, if you really think about it, and they were playing this game too. With the whole, it's over 1 million for AEW. And I'm not even talking about the fucking max stuff. I'm talking before that when they do like an 850K. People are like, well, it's more like million because Nielsen doesn't, whatever. So if it's 6 million plus because 2.5 persons in a house. And then I saw people trying to argue Bischoff, and they're trying to say, not everyone watches TV together in a house. Dude, you go on Netflix, turn Raw on. I don't know, man. And this isn't even counting tablets, phones, laptops. This is counting TVs, man. So it's probably like 6 million or more, dude, for sure. If you count all that too. PlayStation Vista, Samba TV, Savannah, and then IGN, mainstream publications, tweeting things like Squid Game second season has reportedly reached 126.2 million views in 11 days, while season 1 took 91 days to hit 265.2 million views. And how smart of Netflix, okay? Squid Game 1 blew up out of nowhere, no marketing. They didn't realize it was going to be a hit. Squid Game 2 comes around, zero marketing because they knew everyone's going to watch it anyways. They put all the marketing into WWE, and then it pays off because Squid Game 2 is outdrawing Squid Game 1, okay? Monday Night Raw's music hits, and they say that on IGN, now number 1 in the US in the top 10 and Canada. So it outdid them, and look at how good they're doing. Squid Game 2, that's all I'm saying. Now, this doesn't mean it got more views than Squid Game 2 overall, right? It means that at this time, right, Squid Game 2 outdrew Squid Game 1. That's how many people are still watching this shit. Hundreds of thousands, millions a fucking day. Millions a day are watching Squid Game still. WWE beat it on the day WWE came out. Incredible shit, man. Really think about. I hope I'm breaking that down correctly. A couple White Claws. I might be buzzing a bit. But I think I'm doing a good job of letting you guys know what that actually means, because some people might take that as, it beats Squid Game over. No. Right? Squid Game, I don't even know if the first day, but the first week, I bet you like tens of millions probably watched that shit. But on that day, let's say 5 million people were like, we're going to watch Squid Game this day. Like WWE snuck in there and beat it. Well, the 4.9. So that's crazy. That's a crazy metric, you know. Anyways, I'm harping on it so much because it's so impressive. And we'll follow up on this too with a tweet from Teal Rhodes talking about Dusty and that. Fadeaway Media said, if you were in attendance at Raw on Netflix, you can find yourself at the arena. Check out what you can do with Netflix, dude, on the app. You can find yourself, like you can look around. We'll turn the music off. You can look around the Intuit Dome. This is just the Intuit Dome, I think, though. Or maybe it's for everything. But you can just like look around the arena and see everyone. How fucking cool is that? It's kind of creepy, but also pretty cool, you know, for memories. Thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so. It tastes like. Sorry. So as Commander makes his way to the ring, we shout out Raj Giri one more time for coming with the realness. Here's this. Let's see here. Yeah, so I have to block gossip because otherwise I'll just get unblocked, shit talked, and then blocked again, and I can't respond. So we have to play that game. I know it's sad, but anyways, John time traveling Erisman, who's like he works for like the game World of Warcraft or some shit. I think maybe I'm wrong about that, but gossip says that a WWE press release claiming 4.9 million. So the vernacular they use is claiming, not that it did, but they're claiming it did this much. Like when, and I think this guy says it. Okay, when the numbers come out for Squid Games, no one goes, "Oh, Netflix is claiming Squid Games did this." Like we just go, "Oh, 11 million people watched it," or whatever. For anything, Love is Blind or whatever. Stranger Things, we don't go, "Oh, they're claiming this much." No, we just say what it is. So now with wrestling, though, that's how hack these fucking gossip dick pill shillers are, right? Their words, not mine. Don't get mad at me. Hey, I'm just criticizing reporting. You guys don't get mad at that, right? So that's how hack they are, bro. It's you can't just say claiming now, okay? It's what Netflix said. It is a claim, I suppose, technically, okay? But you don't say that about anything else. So yeah. And we'll see if Max numbers do come out. We'll see if it's claiming. But Max numbers will never come out for Dynamite because Max will never release those because they're inconsequential. And it'll make them look fucking dumb to public investors and shit. Anyways, WWE's Monday Night Raw Netflix draws 4.9 million views. That's from Variety. So just mainstream, like Wrestle Ops, a rerun of NXT New Year's Evil 2025 is set to go head-to-head with AEW Collision this Saturday, so that's right now. And if the rerun outdraws, like Jericho and Edge and shit, that's crazy. That's all I'll say. But it is The Rock. And I'm going to go out on a limb, and I said it earlier in the show, The Rock segment will outdraw whatever AEW's highest segment is. You guys feel what I'm saying? So anyways, Elite Club SOB per sec. Vince McMahon will pay more than $1.7 million, $400,000 as a civil penalty, and $1.3 million to WWE in relation to the settlement of undisclosed SA charges, pal. This is not related to the Janelle Grant case. So a lot of fucking wackos are like, "Oh, Vince is coming back." Dude, never, ever will that ever happen. First off, Triple H is doing video packages where they're talking about fucking work and shoot and stuff like that. They would never say that stuff. Heel and babyface. They would never say that if Vince was there. And shout out Cornette for pointing that out because no one really talked about that until he did. But furthermore, just they're done with him. They're entirely done with him. There's no way. It's such bad optics. And this has nothing to do with Janelle Grant. This is completely separate shit. But he has to pay WWE. So it clears WWE's name. And then and them possibly like knowing anything other than probably Laurinaitis, who sort of copped to shit, allegedly. But who knows if anyone else did, right? But I'll just say he settled this thing and had to pay WWE, and he's never going back there. If he does try and come back to wrestling, though, that would be fucking hilarious. In Saudi, would I watch the first one? Yeah. Would I like review them and laugh at what catastrophic pieces of shit they are? Yeah. There's no way Vince comes back and then knows how to book wrestling that takes off. Like maybe it beats AEW, but it's not gonna hit the way WWE ever did, and no one wants to like support that dude. It's like Hulk Hogan. He can't. People are just over it. Vince, we're over it. You know, no one wants that. Anyways, would you like to see Ric Flair return at the Royal Rumble? Woo! No, fuck no. Hey, chat, you want to see Ric Flair return? Fuck no. Maybe if he comes out and has some wings or something. Okay, but no, I don't want to see him be in the Rumble. So, let's see. Vince McMahon, we have his statement here, and he says, the case is closed, pal. Or here, I'll read it right from his Twitter because it's funnier that way. Okay, so shout out Cultaholic, but here's what Vince put up, okay? He says, the case is closed, pal. Today ends nearly 3 years of investigation by different governmental agencies, pal. Well, there has been a great deal of speculation about what exactly the government was investigating and what the outcome would be. As today, pal, resolution shows much of that speculation was misguided and misleading. Misled you on my plane. In the end, there was never anything more to this than minor accounting errors. Bro. Vince, you're a fucking wacko, buddy.
You what?
Oh, man. With regard to some real personal payments that I made several years ago while I was CEO'd, I just paid a few whores back then. What's the problem with that? Linda knew about it. Come here, pal. I am thrilled that I can now put this all behind me. Vince, be careful how you word things, right? I don't know if we should talk about anything going behind you.
You what?
Shit gets behind you and shit gets messy, okay? Literally and figuratively, all right? So I don't know, man. Like, whatever. Fuck Vince, you know. Plenty in Pixelar for $10 says, hey guys, what if instead of what Phil said, we got mad at him instead? Revenge of the Jericho.
The best
dude.
guy is Tony Khan.
You want me to play Jericho again? No. You want me to play Jericho again?
Stupid idiot.
No. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as time goes on. It's really up to you guys. I mean, I think it's split, though. I think half of you like it, half of you don't. And then the ones who tuned out, y'all came back tenfold. So I knew, you know, it is what it is, man. It's a bit. People get sick of it, but. Had a couple White Claws. Couldn't help myself. Ray J's World for $5 says, Jessica Carr looks good in the new. And here, I'm going to give all of you a round of applause in a minute. Ray J's World for $5 says, Jessica Carr looks good in the new WWE ref uniforms. Sure. Ref is 20 times hotter than Aubrey the Galloping Horse Edwards. Wow. This guy's gooning, bro. The undergooner, man. What the fuck? No, it's cool, bro. Thirstcast, hello. Is she hot? Jessica Carr, let me think. I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to leave that one alone. How about that? Let's leave it alone. And I don't know about 20 times. Hey, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Right? Shadow Bad Ash for $10 says, gotta love how when Fightful and their ilk gossip, numbers, and stats about WWE, they have to state it's a claim or rumors, yet when it comes to AEW, they state it like it's fact and totally legit. Well, exactly. You see it all the time. And, you know, everything's great over there. Nothing can, that's what I was going to say. If the Max numbers were reported, I promise you, it would be gossiped that they did these numbers, or Max reports these numbers, or Max says these numbers. It wouldn't be claimed. And we don't say claimed about anything on Netflix. The Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight, we didn't say, oh, they claimed it was this much. It just was that much. So with WWE, you have to do the same thing. And what do they get from lying? They get exposed for lying. Like Netflix they don't care about pwning AEW, man. They're trying to flex that WWE is a success and that they can show it grows. I'm telling you guys, their objective is to grow the shit too. It's not just, oh, we're going to settle in like we did in TV. No, man, fuck all that. Trust me. They're going to take it up bigger and bigger, bigger and better, and they're going to try and grow this. And if we do over a fucking 5, yes, I'm saying we, because I'm a pro goddamn wrestling fan. I say we about TNA. I say we about New Japan. If we can do a fucking 5 million on a WWE show, holy man. Holy, I'm going to invite some people over. Nick Chivers for $2 says, Phil, my name rhymes with Rivers. You fucking Marco.
Fucking Mark!
Oh shit. I keep saying Nick Chivers. He's like, it's Nick. He's like, it's Nick Chivers. You
Stupid idiot.
You stupid Wonka. Oh my goodness, dude. I'm so sorry about that, but how the fuck am I supposed to know? Jesus Christ. Nick Chivers. Nick Chivers. I like that better. With Rivers. Nick Chivers. I'm such an idiot. Fuck, that popped me hard, dude. Thank you. KD Kennedy became a new member. KD Kennedy.
What?
Kennedy. Welcome and thank you. And round of applause to everybody who super chatted. And round of applause to Nick Chivers. Okay. Oh, it's so funny, bro. It is actually so funny. Okay, so moving along. Seth Rollins was upset that CM Punk stole Randy Orton's moment during WWE Return, and this was during a sit-down with Giga Chad, Chris Van Vliet. And Seth Rollins says, you know what I wasn't happy about was Randy had just come back from a long hiatus. That was his moment. It was a great moment. The reaction for him when he came through the curtain was unreal. It was Chicago. It's CM Punk City. It's just the most classic make everything about me CM Punk moment I've ever seen. It's no longer about the performance. It's no longer about Randy. It's no longer about what you had done to get to that point. It's just, hi, guys. It's about me. Remember, I'm the guy that you miss. Remember me, guys. So, yeah, just another kind of throw that on the pile of disgusting CM Punk moments. But don't worry, he's not selfish. He is in it for helping everybody else. Here's the thing, too. Bully Ray's saying that he's like, watch that match back with them. And there's live rounds, dude. They're throwing a few live rounds. And he's just like, they don't really like each other from everything Bully's heard, apparently. Allegedly, as Husey would say, it's like they don't like each other, but they're professional. So all this talk of, oh, Punk's a pussy, he wouldn't get in there with Hangman. It's just bullshit, you know? It's like when you're caught off guard, that's one thing. When you and Seth don't like each other, but like you're like, we're gonna be profesh, yeah. And then you might get one off, and then you get a receipt, and you make some fucking money. And they both understand that, so good on them. Here's what Bret Hart thinks about Hulk Hogan. Let's take a listen to the GOAT.
Do I like Hulk Hogan? No, I don't. I think he's a phony piece of shit. I'm waiting for the next question.
Just waiting for the next question. It's funny. Here's Vanessa Hudgens. So she says that she really deep down, Chelsea Green is just a misunderstood artist. Real recognized, real. WWE is reportedly considering bringing Ric Flair back to appear at the Royal Rumble. We already covered that. God damn it. In Mexico, I believe this is in Mexico. Correct me if I'm wrong. Penta El Cero Miedo shirts for those in need, right? We see some folk here who have some, I believe this is a disability. They have disabilities, or so, right? I'm not trying to, or maybe not. Is that clown paint or so? I have no idea. Someone could translate this for me. Los Destrampados prepararán un increíble show des campismo. That was my first. I didn't really look at this. Maybe they're clowns. Her hands look tied. I don't fucking know. Someone tell me. But they're wearing fucking Penta shirts, okay? And those are WWE exclusives right there. So whoever they are, man, they got the hookup. Hit me up, okay? I need one of those ASAP. Your boy Phil over here needs a fucking Penta shirt. Any Spanish speakers in the chat, let me know what the fuck they were saying there. Please and thank you. Escape artists. Oh, they're escape artists. I just said they're handicapped people. Well, there you go. You win some. Hey, listen, how was I supposed to know?
Yeah.
I'm just here. Listen.
Shut up, bitch.
Oh, my God. So, Omos hits a last ride power bomb at Pro Wrestling Noah.
Omos! He's got him up!
Boom. Just fucking last rode him. Oba Femi issues a warning to The Rock for stealing time from him. And Oba says, at the moment the time was being stolen from me, I wasn't even aware it was being stolen from me. Maybe if I knew, I would have gone up to him and been like, hey, Uncle Dwayne, what are you doing? I'll let it slide this time, but next time Uncle Dwayne comes in and steals time from me, there are going to be problems. Damn. Oba Femi trying to work his way into a goddamn match with The Rock.
Shut up, bitch.
That'd be awesome. It won't happen, but it'd be fucking awesome. Kurt Angle talks about with Dirty Dutch Mantel, story time with Dutch Mantel. Kurt Angle talks about his backstage fight with Eddie Guerrero. And this was just a hilarious story I had to bring to the show. WWE lore here.
You remember any dressing room fights that you personally witnessed?
Yeah, I had one with Eddie Guerrero.
So what happened there?
Well, Eddie,
a real fight? No bleeding?
Yeah.
What
They
happened
got
there?
broken up pretty quickly. What happened was Eddie. I was a part of a team, a faction at this point in time with Luther Reigns and Mark Jindrak, and we had to get heat on Eddie and Chavo that night. And it was at the end of the show, and I never touched Eddie. I only grabbed the hold of Chavo, and I got heat on him. And the other two,
it's a morning show, and they're just clowns. I fucked up so bad. I honestly didn't look. I just glimpsed at the thing, and I was like, oh, is she in a wheelchair or something? And then I bookmarked it right away because I saw the Penta shirts, kept it moving. You guys know I like to live react. So, yeah, it wasn't until I big screened it and I'm looking at it on live on the air. I'm like, yeah, so these, I think they're just clowns. So bad. I fucked up. Anyways, shame on me, Chad. Shame me. No, here we go.
two got heat on Eddie. And when we came backstage, Eddie was pissed. He's like, what the fuck? You guys were shooting on me. You're beating me up for real. And I'm like, Eddie, I didn't touch you. He said, yes, you did. He pushed me. And I said, Eddie, don't do it again. He pushed me again. So I pushed him back, and he went to double leg attack me. and I sprawled on him, and I got him a front headlock, and I started choking him out. And Big Show.
Damn, Eddie didn't tap, though.
Crazy. Eddie was ready to pass out, and Big Show grabs me by the back of my singlet, picks me up in the air like I'm a little kid, walks me across the room, drops me in the corner, grabs Eddie, walks him across the room like he's some principal and we were students at a school.
Yeah.
He drops him in the corner. He said, you guys need to stop fighting. And I was so pissed at Big Show because I got like little guy syndrome. Like I couldn't believe how quickly.
Well, yeah, dude, he's a big motherfucker.
He picked me up like I was nothing.
Well, it's the big motherfucker.
He carried me over, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, Big Show, don't ever do that to me again. So we had a little bit of an altercation, and
yeah, Big Show's like the character from his TV show in real life.
So afterward, I went up to Eddie and I said, Eddie, I'm sorry that this occurred. He said, I'm not ready to apologize yet. I said, what the f did you say? He said, I'm not ready to apologize.
That's Big Show's job in AEW is just carry Tony Khan to and from his car like that. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. That's mean.
I said, let's go. We started going again, and Big Show broke it up again.
Damn, yeah, Eddie was a real one, but he went kind of crazy on Kurt there. But anyway, speaking of real one who's willing to go crazy, Scott Steiner says he buried the hatchet with WWE for Braun Breaker, and Triple H recently offered his son an NIL deal. That big jack football dude has an NIL deal. So there's no teases. Steiner just stooged it. Let's hear what he has to say.
I left with a lot of hard feelings, you know what I mean? But
even the gimmick still dyeing his beard and hair, you gotta still bleaching it.
At some point you gotta let it be. You can't be angry the whole time. You can't hold a grudge. Plus the fact some people that you have a grudge against probably don't even know anyways. So, and I didn't want to screw up anything for him. So I just buried the hatchet. And matter of fact, Hunter called me the other day, maybe probably 3 weeks ago, and offered my boy an NIL deal. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
No, yeah, no, I buried Hatchet.
How old is he?
The next gen, dude. We got like Breaker, Steiner's kid, Henry's kid. Fucking madness. Amazing. You know, Umaga's kids. So Odyssey Jones breaks his silence in regards to false allegations that led to his departure from WWE. So WWE were going to implement Odyssey Jones. They call him up to the main roster. A year goes by. Another draft happens. He gets drafted again. He still doesn't show up. All of a sudden, they plug him in with the New Day. He's like replacing Big E. And then all of a sudden, he's fired from the company. And then they just move on with the storyline without him. What happened, you ask, Phil, right? Well, we went over some psychotic tweets that someone was tagging Odyssey and tagging fucking WWE in for like a long time, you know, repeatedly. You know, Odyssey, we were on vacation and he whooped my ass and, you know, he threw a bottle at me or whatever, right? Crazy shit. So, well, I don't want to call him crazy the situation's crazy, not the person, but let's head over to NoDQ.com, the old school, and see what Odyssey Jones had to say. Oh, he actually cut a little video. Can we watch?
My name is Amari Palmer, a.k.a. Odyssey Jones.
Hopefully this isn't a million hours long, but let's check this out.
And first and foremost, I'd like to thank Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, for giving me the strength to get through these difficult times. As always, all glory to God. Secondly, I would like to say Happy New Year, and I wish you all a great and safe 2025. I'm making this video to address the false allegations, these false claims.
He's reading this shit off of fucking DocX, you know, off of Google. What is that shit called? Google Doc.
Are coming from a party that I used to prior engage with. And I apologize for taking so long for addressing these false claims, but I had to patiently wait to get an injunction set in place to protect my family, my friends, and myself. I'm currently taking legal action against said party, so I can't speak too much more on it, but there will be more information to come.
So she got through. It's like a legal thing. She must have got through that because there was this woman spam tweeting all the time. We covered it on the show, saying crazy shit that he allegedly did on like a vacation with her or something, you know? So who knows what that means? As far as like what that situation was, it's people's private lives. I don't know. But it was enough for them to investigate and get fired for it, you know?
To come. With that being said, I would like to thank the WWE for the amazing opportunity they've given me in my life. I thank you so much for bringing me on. I'd like to thank all the coaches I've worked with over the years for helping me work on my craft.
Okay, so what did he say? He didn't. He's not, so he's like he can't explain anything because he's gonna go to court. I thought this was him being like, no, that bitch is crazy. No. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was WWE News. So, chat, we got sickos, we got Meltzer, we got sickos, we got Meltzer, we got sickos, we got Meltzer, we got sickos and Meltzer. Flutes in the chat, pukes in the chat, flutes in the chat, pukes in the chat, flutes in the chat, or pukes in the chat, depending on what you want. Let me know, chat. Flutes or pukes? You guys, flutes, I see. Yeah, I'll give you guys a second here. I'll drink some White Claw. And here, AEW news. Did I leave that card? Yeah, I was going to say we still got a card here to look at. In the meanwhile, flutes, I see. Thank you, Plinian. I see that was a beautiful song I sang. Yeah, someone take that and flip it into like a remix song for the fucking show or something. You know what I mean? I had a nice beat going. Yeah, dude. I got rhythm. More Jericho, please. No, none of that. That ain't happening. Yeah, I'm just checking in with you guys. I'm pumped for Mariah May and Harley Cameron. They're good. Two good ladies here in AEW. Hopefully make something happen. And yeah, I want to see. It's mostly flutes. I think flutes just fucking dominated the chat. Flutes. Okay. We'll get into flutes. Let me hydrate. I need some goddamn soda water, aka White Claw. Liquor in soda water form. Will Hobbs saying he's going to make Moxley his bitch. Damn. Prison style. And then, yeah, they're hyping up Kenny. And then they're showing highlights from Wrestle Dynasty, but they couldn't promote Wrestle Dynasty because of some deal they had with Max. That's a real thing. It's a real fucking thing that I covered. Unironically, Phil's voice is actually decent. Yeah. Yeah. Bruv, more Jericho, please, for $2. I can't do that to everyone, bro. Maybe if you guys get it up to 200 likes, I'll play you more Jericho. But if you don't, there's like 300 people watching. That's across 2 channels, though. Yeah, if you run it up to like a high number, then yes, okay, but can't do that. I see all the flutes. We're gonna get to it. I'm just taking my sweet time. I'm just taking a few sips here and enjoying checking in with chat. Oh my goodness, what a lovely Saturday as well. So Raw shows, Monday streams are going to be very much focused on WWE. Lots of WWE news and me just calling the Raw action, and not so much, unless something's really bad, then we'll drift off and dive into the bookmarks. Speaking of bookmarks, it is time for everybody's favorite moment. It is time for everybody's favorite segment. And it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week. So Dave Meltzer had an epic meltdown over Raw on Netflix. The first thing I need to bring to this Dave Meltzer segment is the fact that he didn't actually tweet anything about the Raw. Go and look at his fucking Twitter. Okay, I'm not going to go do it. But I did check. I should have screen grabbed. But the day of the Monday Raw on Netflix, he tweeted like 2 things. He didn't tweet one goddamn thing about it. Not a this was good. Not a that was great. Not a the best guys. Tony Khan. Nothing. He had like 2 tweets. One of them was like, oh, I'll be looking for the numbers. I won't know till later in the week or something. That was it. He didn't have anything to say about the show during the show, after, around the show. He just hid like a little bitch. And that's what this segment's about, is Meltzer. He just hides like a little bitch behind his message board, away from WWE and away from Marie Shadows and her newsletter. He got triggered by Marie Shadows' newsletter like the day after she was on PWT 2 days in a row. She did PWT 2 days in a row. We talked about him both days. And then she dropped a newsletter refuting his shit. He got triggered by it. We're going to cover that. It's fucking hilarious. And we don't have her private emails, but I know what was said between them. And I'm not going to like verbatim, but yeah, we're going to basically remind Dave he needs to do better. Okay, chat? Dave needs to do better. Okay? And you all need to remind him of that. And that's what we're going to do here tonight. So anyways, Dave Meltzer. This is according to Cultaholic. Or this is via Cultaholic, and Meltzer here says, people backstage in AEW believe Malakai Black is gone from the company. And I covered this before, but just to give you verbatim what the Observer Radio says here, Meltzer says, if Malakai gets mad because he got mad last time, I just want him to know that he needs to get mad at the people in the back, because the people in the back believe he is gone, for whatever that's worth. Tony Khan. So here's the problem with this, right? And I covered it before. Let's say he's not gone. Meltzer is just stooging that people back there think he's gone. And then he's like, who the fuck is talking about me behind my back to Meltzer and shit? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? It's so gross. It's incestuous. Why the fuck would you stooge this?
Stupid idiot.
I don't understand why he'd stooge this if this was the case, if he didn't know. He doesn't know. So he's like, well, if Malakai hears this and gets mad, why don't you reach out to Malakai? Why don't you just ask him and then compare it to this? And then you can come and say, we reached out to Malakai for a comment. He didn't have one, or he denied whatever. This is what he had to say in comparison to what they're saying over here. My prediction would be this. That's my, you know what I mean? I don't got to tell you why. Allegedly, maybe, you know, that's all you got to do, man. But instead, he can't even like pick up the phone and do his diligence and do things properly. You know, it's pretty gross. And shout out Malakai. Hope he gets, you know, better treatment than this. So Dave Meltzer tweets out in response to this guy named Chuck McDuck, who says, "It was all honestly bizarre. It will take years until we get the real story of Cody's exit from AEW." And then Meltzer says, "Cody's issue was with Tony, and both promised to never speak of it." And then I quote tweet it and I go, dude, it's weird how so many people who actually know what they're doing in the pro wrestling business don't understand what TK is doing. So odd. But they're all just fed drones. The best guys, Tony Khan, right? Like, why does anyone with 2 cents not understand what the fuck Tony's doing over there, right? That's all you have to ask yourself. It's not even trying to be a hater. Harley Cameron got them juggas, as Quentin Rampage Jackson would say. Pro Wrestle Times here. Myself. Oh, yeah, that was where I went viral for roasting old Meltzy. Look at that. Holy. Meltzer said what? Tweets this out. This was a couple days ago. He says, "Hi, Dave Meltzer. Just a reminder that Raw is in San Jose next week, which is Meltzer's neck of the woods. Watch, he won't be there. And as the unbiased journalist who travels the world to see AEW, literally goes to Japan to see AEW, along with attending New Japan Battle in the Valley in San Jose, in the same place, right? He attends Battle in the Valley with 1,000 people there. He's not going to go to Raw. Watch. I know you won't want to miss the live Netflix Raw experience for perspective. Right? Meltzer said what the GOAT, calling him out because he ain't going to be there. So Dave Meltzer says Video Amp lists Raw on Monday as 2.6 million U.S. homes, more than double the usual other service. More than double the usual. Other services have different numbers. If Nielsen has a number and it does list the top 10 streaming for the week, it would come out in about a week or longer. And then I just quote tweeted it and I was like, Dave, he's still holding out hope. Is that a cute one, chat, or is that cringe? I don't know. Let's continue along here. Raj Giri. So we didn't get to cover this one. This is the last little insult, the little barb that Raj threw out there that I missed when I covered their war back and forth. But Meltzer goes, I've been covering the business for 50 years. I may have, actually written about drawing tens of thousands of times in that period. But also I've eaten great food in restaurants that didn't sell as many Wagyu beef steaks as McDonald's sells burgers. It's just the dumbest comparison ever, dude. The dumbest fucking comparison. But anyways, Raj Giri says, if 2 places serve Wagyu beef and one is consistently packed while the other is always empty, there's a good chance that one of those restaurants suck. Exactly. So Meltzer comes out and goes, this is all he said. This is all he said about the Raw on Netflix, I believe. Or no, what day was this? No, this was a few days ago. Yeah, maybe this was like after, this is Tuesday or so. I can't remember, but he goes, I will have a very detailed look at the Raw numbers in the new issue. You end up with a lot of contradictory numbers is the best way to put it, but look at it with more depth than anything I've seen out there. He said he'll look at it with more depth than anything else he's seen out there. And he'll see a lot of contradictory numbers to Variety and IGN and Netflix and everyone else. This fucking glizzy gobbler, man.
You what?
Trying to say that he's going to have contradicting numbers. Because of course, but if AEW did, he would not. He'd be like, no, Video Amp is the real. Fuck Nielsen in the ear. It's all about Video Amp. Tony got the best trackers, Video Amp. You know, what the fuck is going on here, dude? It'll be more in depth than anything else I've seen out there. More in depth than Thurston, who actually agrees with Netflix and gave Netflix kudos. Even Thirsty Thurston did. But no. I'm going to have contradictory numbers. He thinks he's more legit, dude, than like real. This doesn't fly because now Netflix is the real entertainment business, Dave. NXT and WWE's mainstream, huh? The guy who runs CW or whatever is tweeting at Dave Meltzer, telling him he's fucking wrong. Because now everyone's like, oh shit, WWE's our hot commodity. We can't fuck this up. Look, it's booming, it's surging. No one's trying to fuck WWE up right now. Used to be WWE trying to not fuck things up. Now everyone's like, we can't fuck up with WWE. I'm telling you, dude, you're on the wrong side of this, just objectively. Teal Rhodes had a beautiful tweet we'll get to in a minute, sort of backing me up on this. So I just said, someone come get his old ass. He's just an old coot. Meltzer says, he responds to someone who says, why do you always move the goalpost, Dave? And Dave goes, I don't. That's the funny part of it. Meanwhile, we can pull up the tweets of him saying, viewership is by rating, and then viewership is by demo. So that's literally moving the goalpost. Oh, okay. Sorry, Dave. It's flip-flopping and being a hypocrite. You know, like, how do you want us to word it? Baby ears? Fuck is your problem? Anyways, moving along. Glenn Gilberti responds to that and says, by your admission, ratings competition in wrestling was for total viewers for years and years and years, but you changed it to the demo when AEW came along. You couldn't find a better example of moving goalposts than that. Exactly. So I went and screen grabbed and chronicled Meltzer's Raw Meltdown here. And here's Dave Meltzer melting down over Raw on Netflix, part 1. Meltzer says, in response to John D., who says 2.6 mil is the U.S. number, they said. Meltzer said, that was a household number from Video Amp, not Netflix. Dave, Netflix uses Video Amp to get their numbers, and then Netflix did announce, so now Dave's lying because Netflix did say that, and they said 4.9 million worldwide. We just looked at the fucking things that said it. Stupid idiot. I can't even fucking say anything clever. We just read the sheet. We just looked at them on the show. You can pause, rewind. Let me work it. Let me search it. Let me thing down, flip it in reverse. You do whatever. You can turn it upside down with Mark Maron. And it says what it says, bro. Holy shit. He's trying to say Netflix didn't say. It's Video Amp. Video Amp is what Netflix uses. They don't use Nielsen. So, because it's Netflix. Dave, you fucking moron. So Meltzer goes, he responds to Johnny N now. So John D, and then Johnny N comes in and goes, there's no way 4.9 million is concurrent viewers. So just a hater. Yeah, it is globally, bro. And Dave at least gives it credit and says, worldwide, that isn't implausible at all. It was almost surely more, actually, but Netflix can't measure viewers per home. Dave, that's why they use Video Amp. And you're right, they can't, because people also watch shit at home on their tablets, laptops, and phones. So it was more. It was fucking more, okay? It was more than this, even. And you know this. But you're a fucking shill, bro. Dave Meltzer responds to Johnny A. No, I'm just joking. Mark Abrams, and says, well, whatever Netflix sends out is probably true because they are publicly traded. Oh, Dave's gonna listen to this. Netflix listed a worldwide homes number, but not a U.S. number. Yeah, it was 2.6 million, Dave. There are 2 other services that also monitored U.S. homes, and the trick is to compare this to what Raw did on USA and SmackDown did on Fox. Okay, then do this for next Dynamite or shut the fuck up. Do this, and I want to see the same tweet on Wednesday. Or shut the fuck up. Sorry, guys, I'm going off. It's the White Claw. So, and the trick is to compare this to what Raw did on USA and SmackDown. Okay, to figure what Netflix means in the US compared to cable and TV networks. They mean how many people watch the show, Dave. You never ask this question when you watch Stranger Things. You never, ever thought of this ever. And the real people in the real entertainment industry now, this is out of your hands, Dave. This is out of the gossip, fake, fucking dirt sheets now. This is back in the mainstream. This is pop culture. You know, when Travis Scott comes out smoking a blunt with fucking Jey Uso, like this is, and you got Lil Yachty in the crowd marking out over Goldberg sitting next to him, and you got Topanga in the crowd, and fucking all these people that, you know, grown-ups with their kids now look at as like heroes because it's like member berries, you know, it's nostalgia for us, and it's full circle, dude, and y'all are fucked up. Dave is so fucked up for not celebrating this as a wrestling guy, as a guy who made his fucking living off wrestling. And people get mad at me. Oh, do people just hate? What is it? Just haters? Dave's been hate watching wrestling since the fucking 70s. He's been hating on motherfuckers. What are you guys talking about? Jesus. Anyways, we move along. He's got more, dude. So Dave responds to S.E. Scoops, who goes, were there viewers per household metrics when Raw was on cable, or does Netflix have any viewers impression metrics they use? Dave goes, and look, he got 4 likes with 9.3K views, dude. He got almost 10,000 views. 4 people like this because they feel bad for this guy. And it's like, you're actually restarted, you know? And not in like a cool, sweet way. But Meltzer goes, viewers per home is a stat I've been using since the late 90s. And in our Saturday night's main event article, we had data on that from the heyday of that show in the 80s. We actually use that for every TV show every week. You didn't answer his question. Just dance around the question, why don't you? Hey, way to not answer his question and just put yourself over. So Cedric Taylor says, I've trusted Dave since I was a little boy. My parents used to give his newsletter to me. I read his work growing up, even his editorials for those old wrestling magazines. Dave is the reason I got my journalism degree to be able to cover my passions. And Dave says, thanks, appreciate it. This fucking Mark.
You fucking Mark!
Oh my God. Well, good for him, you know, but yellow journalism, I tell ya. It's yellow journalism, hey? So Go Giants Yankees says, can you guess where he's from? Go Giants Yankees? So they have no idea. Sounds like it was a giant failure below their expectations. That's what this goofball's trying to say about WWE. And Meltzer goes, there is a range. It's very confusing, and all numbers are misleading to a degree. I just finished my article on the show, and it'll be out tonight. It's explained in detail. No, it's going to be you doing a Meltzer spin, flip-flopping around, trying to convince people of shit that's non-existent. Meltzer says, so you don't know Nielsen ratings? I covered VPH dating back to the 90s. It actually worked in your favor. Many weeks you had a lower HH rating and lost when due to VPH. What is this guy talking about? You actually had more viewers, and by total viewers should have won. Happened almost every time the household. So Bischoff's like not disagreeing, but curious where the 1.2 to 1.5 comes from. Is that Nielsen number? And then, yeah, Meltzer goes, so you don't know Nielsen's ratings? Like, this is the problem, right? Dave does this slimy, goofy fucking thing, and he thinks he's right, but it literally just shows low IQ, where he's like, oh, so Bischoff, you don't know every Nielsen rating for AEW? You didn't check up on that, but you're saying the show. Oh, so you don't know the Nielsen ratings? So then I'm right and you're wrong. Like, as though everyone who's worked in television studies the Nielsen ratings. Everybody who's ever trained boxing has studied every boxer ever. Everyone who's ever played hockey can name every fucking, you know, player on the Rangers. Trying to keep it New York themed. So, but you guys get what I'm getting at, right? So you don't know the Nielsen ratings? I covered VPH dating back to the 90s. It actually worked in your favor. Many weeks you had lower household ratings and lost when due to VPH. You actually had more viewers, and by total viewers should have won. Happen almost every time. Dave, in no reality, so he's just trying to say that the total viewers for WWE is lower than they're saying. To what? To do what? So it's still in the millions, no matter what it is that you invented in your mind. It's still in the millions, and AEW's still not better, and it still has shittier houses, and the booking's still shittier, and the wrestling's still shittier, and you're still fucking dumb, and Tony's still a bad booker, and they're still getting 610 fucking thousand viewers if they're lucky. None of that changes just because, even if Dave is right here, which he's not, but even if he is, none of that changes. It's just cope. This is what literally the definition of cope is. And I saw people commenting on this. What, meltdown? You call this a meltdown? Yeah, bitch, this is a fucking full-blown melter. This is a melty, bro. This is a fucking straight cope session. No edge. Right? Moving along. Meltzer is suddenly an NFL financial expert. Interesting. Patrick Mahomes. So this guy's done did it. Says, let me break it down for you. Without TV money, AEW's dead, gone. The NFL will continue, and they will easily still be the biggest sport brand in America. And Meltzer goes, without TV money, the NFL would be so heavily in the red, it's scary. Every major sport survives largely on TV money. I mean, even if he's not entirely wrong, Dave, Patrick Mahomes, you'll never live that down. Right? What about fucking Mad Dog? Saying that it's all in the shits. Calling Tony the Kid. The best guys, Tony the Kid. Right? They think it's bullshit. What do you know? Oh, I'm a football analyst now. David Kello for $5 says, wrestling fans want wrestling to be real so badly. They talk about ratings because it's the only real stat wrestling has. Well, exactly. The only shoot stat. You fucking nailed it. I mean, amazing. It's the only real thing is who's drawn. Who's selling tickets. That's how it's always been too. Don't fuck around like Dave is pretending he wasn't doing this with WCW. He even just admitted it there, but this is the problem, right? Dave's only credibility comes from he is able to get pay-per-view metrics, TV rating shit, and ticket sale numbers, but none of those favor AEW. So now he's doing all this goofy shit with demos and just making stuff up. And it's crazy, man. Yeah. And thank you. You nailed it. Chat. David Kello, round of applause him. It's the only real metric. Who's selling? What's the ratings? Yushin FX for $14.95 says better $14.90. Dude, that's what it's all about. Yeah, I earned that one, didn't I? Yushin FX. I don't even see you all the time up in here. So thank you so much for giving me $14.95. I love it, dude.
You what?
But I'm grateful. And yeah, I earned that shit, didn't I? That's what I'm trying to say. Don't let these fools gaslight you and don't let them take your fucking money. You know what I mean? It's better spent. I could do more shows. We're going to convert everyone with flutes, one flute at a time. And then Wrestling Russ for $5 says Meltzer is Biden. Oh, my God. Yeah, Meltzer. Oh, my God. We got to educate Adam Ray, the comedian, on how to do a Meltzer impression and get him doing that for wrestling fans. That would be phenomenal because he's so good at doing Biden and other people. But, yeah, he's... Fucking Meltzer needs a lifeline, dude. For real. It's a sinking ship. 2025, I thought he would chill out a bit. And no, he just started the year off swinging. He's just lying, bro.
Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
And he's coping through his teeth. And it is what it is, you know. Coper's going to cope. Just round of applause and acknowledgement to all of our lovely super chatters and everyone in chat. You're all good.
Acknowledge me!
And hit that like. Okay. Here, chat. Yeah, I want to check in with people too. I'm so sorry. I'm just going off. We had a lot to get to, you know, had a lot to do. George Capture, just because. Oh, come on now, George. George used to get the newsletters when they were
come
like
on now, Eric.
Thing. So he could tell you, but $14.99 just because Osprey, you know. Thank you very much.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
And yes, I'll give you all another round of applause. Hit the like if you want us a free way to support, or the dislike. Whatever you need to fucking do. But just hit something. There's lots of stuff to click down there, George. Thank you. Top mod of the top pod, of course. The top mod of the top pod. Okay, continuing along, part 2 of Dave Meltzer's Melty Meltdown over the Raw Netflix stuff. So this wasn't on the day, by the way. This is like a few days later. I screen grabbed it all. He's got me blocked. You guys can see that. I'm just chugging down a White Claw really quickly. It's like water. It's kind of like fizzy water. I don't know. I don't really like those. I got to be honest. But anyways. Meltzer responds to Harvey Man, who says, not a good look for Eric Bischoff. He's been in the television business for how long and thinks you get total viewers by taking households viewed times average number of residents. Right, it's not about that. So, do you see what Meltzer says? He goes, for wrestling of late, it has ranged from 1.2 to 1.5. Okay, so Bischoff didn't say it means 2.5 times that. 4.9 million times 2.5 isn't 6 million. Plus, like Bischoff said, you dumb bastard. I study, I do the numbers, I do the math. Meltzer, did you read what Bischoff said? Harvey Mann, did you read what Bischoff said? Bischoff said the average person in the people in the household is 2.5, and they did a 4.9 or a 2.6. Oh, actually, maybe. So 6 million plus. Oh, maybe that is what Bischoff did. And I just botched because I thought it was 4.9. So I'm a dummy and I'll pull it back.
Dummy, yeah.
We're going to call out Bischoff because if it's 2.6 and then he did 2.5 to get his 6 million plus, the worldwide and the US household is what keeps fucking me there. It's the White Claws, but with Bischoff though, so that is what Bischoff did. Smart Dave Meltzer. And I guess Bischoff did fuck up on that, okay? But what I thought Bischoff was getting at was the 4.9 with like, okay, yes, not in every house, 2.5 people aren't going to come watch the TV. Maybe it's one person. Maybe it's 2 people. Maybe there's 4 people and then 0 in the house next to them, right? That's the idea. So it averages out to 1.5. And I thought that was the math Bischoff was doing. But no. Actually, Meltzer is calling him out. Nielsen measures viewers per home for wrestling of late at his range. Early AEW is staggeringly high. Of course he says that. It was pretty high, though, man. They were doing like millies, like beating all sports except the giant ones in the key demo. Dave, and then Dave does this shit and he goes in the key demo. Okay, not the fucking they were beating them, but he's referring to the key demo, not the total viewership or whatever, because there's no fucking way football games are getting outdrawn by AEW. That's never happened. Like beating all sports except the giant ones. So every sport. So what isn't a giant sport? So like volleyball and soccer, Dave, like, is that what you're talking about? That's meaningless, so do gardening shows. Now WWE is slightly higher than AEW and AEW is closer to sports than normal. So if WWE is slightly higher and AEW is closer to sports normal, then that means WWE's higher and closer to. Like, this is him just playing with words, trying to sound fucking clever. And he may have owned Bischoff there, actually. However, just saying, like, now WWE is slightly higher than AEW, it's just not true, man. It's way more. It doesn't matter. And Dave is also just talking only about the key demo. Here's the thing. People suggest that the key demo is, like, higher than that. Than what Dave even talks about. Dose broke it down way more intelligibly than I possibly could, but yeah, who knows? Anyways, though, Eddie from the D continues and says, Dave, with Netflix releasing their numbers, is there any chance they could inflate them the same way wrestling companies inflate attendance numbers? And Meltzer goes, it's not so much inflated as misinterpreted and misleading comparisons, but the Nielsen numbers for streaming don't come out for a month. All right. So do we trust Nielsen? I thought Nielsen was a dead thing. I thought everybody harped on Nielsen's dead. It's not a thing anymore. Continuing along here. Unexpected Wrestling says, hey, Dave, with Netflix making an official announcement of the numbers, why would there be contradictory reports? There's no contradictory reports. It's just Dave. But he's not reporting shit. He's fucking lying. And Meltzer goes, because Netflix only released a worldwide number of streams. The other numbers are not from Netflix. Jesus. And then this guy, Jerry McCloy, goes, but everyone believed the Mike Tyson fight numbers when they came out 2 days later. When it comes to WWE, there's always an excuse. And then Meltzer goes, actually, many in TV and sports TV coverage said the opposite. No, You're lying, Dave. No, they didn't. Everyone talked about how it crashed and why, because the number it did.
Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
You're fucking lying, and many, who are the many, say their names if they're in TV and sports coverage. Their names are out there, and they publicly said it. It's not one of your phony fake sources, Dave, so say who it is. But you can't find one. Everybody agreed. I'm sure, we could find 2 haters. Yes, in general, everyone agreed. And it was crashing for people. So how the fuck else does that happen? It's not happening for Raw. So that must mean what? It's not close to the 100 million or whatever. Anyways, it doesn't happen for football. No one's complaining about Netflix crashing for football. So how many, right? Dave, you're just so full of shit. Comments were along the lines of laughing at the reporting of those numbers with the skepticism of how modern people just printed whatever they said without waiting for real outside source numbers. Then what were the outside source numbers, though, Dave? They were the actual numbers. And then those people laughing, who is just your gaggle of chuckle fuck clowns, were wrong. Okay? Because even Dana White acknowledged that shit, and he fucking hates Jake Paul. Everyone acknowledged what the fuck the number was. You're coping. So Johnny N says, also, the ratings come out less than 24 hours after a show airs. That's under +1. And Meltzer goes, yes, so much out there in fine print that leads to misleading conclusions. But the show did well, and it was going to. What matters is where it settles in at. So then ACDCSTE, Dave's so stupid. I just can't keep calling him idiot. You know, how many different ways am I going to call him a fucking idiot tonight? But he goes, I think it's fair to say the Netflix and Max numbers are going to be very difficult to navigate around. In time, we'll get it down. For about a month, it'll be a lot of work. Netflix will be easier than Max. I can fuddy-duddy and play with Max's numbers more. I guarantee that's what he's thinking in the back of his mind. As Garcia and Shibata just chop the shit out of each other meaninglessly. So Meltzer says that was an independent rating service number. I explained the difference in the issue regarding all of the numbers. It's very complicated, actually. That's why very few others even try to sort it out. And then this guy goes, you realize it was Forbes that said that, not him, right? As far as I believe this is just in response to some sicko. And Meltzer goes, he's a profitability denier. Those people literally don't want to know. They're scared of learning and petrified of the truth. So Meltzer's sitting here, dude. Creepy fucking creeper Meltzer. Right? Where the fuck is my Halloween music? He's a profitability denier. Those people literally don't want to know. They are scared of learning and petrified of the truth. Man, Dave is such an idiot. So anyone who doesn't agree with Dave is petrified and scared of the truth. And you're the truth seeker. What a fucking idiot, man. What a putz. Let's see what chat's saying here. $2 better late than never. What's up, Phil? Nothing, man. How you doing, dude? Good to see you. We're just chilling, roasting Meltzer. You know, the same usual shit. You ain't hype for $2. Says no White Claw, just whiskey. Philly Phil, man up. Yeah, I drink like different stuff. You know, if I know you listen to the show, but like I'll have wine or beer or whatever. So I have a few White Claws in the fridge. I'm like, might as well get through Collision. But thank you. I will man up. You ain't hype. We don't all have manly names like you ain't hype. And then Yushin FX for $5 says, listen all the time. I have a 1-hour drive to and from work. So maybe not live, but I'm around. Just caught a live for once. Keep it up. You fucking mark.
You fucking mark.
Well, thank you very much. I will. Don't text and drive. Don't look at what Dave's saying on the screen. Just listen. That's why I try to babble it all out for you guys. So that you can just listen as well and enjoy it as like an audio show too. You know what I mean, bro? And yeah, wish you the best and be safe on your fucking journeys, man. And I'm glad that people are using this show to pass their drives and stuff. You know what I mean? Because that shit can get tedious. Okay. Where are we at here? We got a few more. It looks like we got a lot more fucking Meltzer. Holy lick. So Goldberg will be on the 4th Netflix Raw, which comes from Atlanta. Goldberg has agreed to do a retirement match this year with Gunther, the probable opponent. So there you go. Dave Meltzer reports that. It's probably the truth. I mean, that's what we've heard this whole entire time. So moving along here. This guy responds. This guy works. Yeah, I said it before. I think he works for like World of Warcraft. Senior QA for WoW gameplay. Okay. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I just quickly glanced at his thing, gave him a follow. He's been listening to the show. So shout out John Time Traveling Erisman. He says Nielsen will not be more accurate than Video Amp. Sorry to break it to you, Dave. You do know who has accurate data, though? WBD through this fun thing called AIM. Don't worry. I can assure you they release this data. House of the Dragon hit a season 2 high in viewership with Sunday's finale, which drew 8.9 million. So Dave's like, it'll be easier to get Netflix's numbers. Meanwhile, no, that's not true. It'll be easier to get fucking AIM or Max's numbers if you go to WBD, who has this thing called AIM, and they can tell you exactly how many people streamed on Max, so on HBO and Max. And so Dave doesn't know that either because he doesn't study the fucking business like he claims. He's just a projectile little goof. A projectile, a little goober goob. Yeah, Shibata and Garcia are just chopping each other to shit. It's just ridiculous. It's like the dumbest thing ever. Oh, my goodness. So Wrestle Purist says, I watched this and was like, dude, just make the guy. Oh, yeah. So this is what Meltzer had to say about the fucking Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd match. Now, I watched it. I reviewed it with Marie Shadows. It was a great match, but it wasn't the best match ever. You know what I mean? It wasn't my favorite match ever. It was really good. I think Gabe Kidd stood out more than Kenny Omega, just my humble opinion. You know, perhaps that's wrong. But let's see here. Dave Meltzer goes, I watched this and was like, dude, just make this guy AEW champion. You know what I mean? They should, though. I don't even know if that's really the right idea. Well, then why the fuck would you say just do that? But I'm watching this going like, this guy should just be the god of everything. It was unbelievable performance. Dave Meltzer, Kenny Omega should be the god of everything. He should just be the god. He should be my god. Oh, yeah, all god.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
What the fuck, man? Dave is a kooky motherfucker. You guys know what I mean? That is insane. He should just be like the god of everything. God of what, Dave? Like your whole world? You know? Your booty hole? What do you want? No, that's no judgment, Dave. Just admit it. That's all I'm saying. Just admit the shit. Oh man, I'm teasing. But for real, he should just be the god of everything. The fuck you talking about, man? It was like a decent match. Kenny was just selling his ass off really hard the whole time. And of course, he gives it all the stars because it's like an actual fucking wrestling match where he's selling his stomach the whole time and people popped for like an abdominal stretch when Gabe Kidd locked it in, the Inoki special. But anyways, Dave was coping. So after the New Japan stuff, Chris Charlton got suspended. And, Glock Meltzer was, fapping to the super wrestlers and he didn't have time to really look into the Charlton stuff, I think, as much. Well, he says New Japan told him whatever the fuck. But Marie sent out a newsletter. She appeared on PWT a couple times. And then Meltzer gets mad and he emailed her back. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys what he said in the emails, but he got triggered more than this. And so they went back and forth a couple times and Marie just owned him. And so he went to his fucking message board and he's like, who is Marie Shadows? I got a blast email where she came up with this idea that I made up Charlton being suspended because NJPW didn't put out a press release. Started doing the anti-Dave stuff. I nicely told her that Charlton was suspended. He wasn't even on the show the next day, which is the point she raised, Dave. and how multiple people in multiple companies confirmed it. Today, another story about how multiple people in multiple companies. What companies? So New Japan and AEW, like just name the companies. Today, another story about how I made up Charlton being suspended. And she was just speculating. But also, Dave ran to his fucking little message board, his paid message board because he fears Marie. And Bixenspan was quote tweeting this too, being like, oh no, because Bix is a little greaseball. And so I quote tweeted and I was like, LOL, Marie Shadow. And also, Dave is like, I sent her. Where is it? He said something I nicely told her. No, he didn't. He was very rude and condescending. And it was about 2 sentences. And I'm not going to say what he said, but chat, we need to remind Dave he needs to do better. Okay, chat, flutes, and do better, Dave. Do better. But yeah, he's very schmarmily condescending to her. But anyways, I quote tweeted and say, LOL, Marie Shadow seems to have triggered troglodytes Dave Meltzer and David Bixenspan. Meltsy could have just emailed her back, but instead of getting owned again, he ran to his safe space message board to play pretend. I swear these two just hate women. I had to go at him, bro. He's going at my homie. Anyways, Mr. Wrestling 6 says, this is a quote of Dave Meltzer, and Meltzer goes on to glaze Kenny. Just globble his glizzy and he says, I remember when Shawn Michaels came back against Levesque. He won't call him Triple H, he calls him Levesque and Dwayne. When Shawn Michaels came back against Levesque at SummerSlam 02, and he had a hell of a match. This Omegaverse kid was like 3 levels above that. 3 levels above Triple H. Oh my God. 3 levels above Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Stupid idiot.
He just loved this match. It was really good, but it wasn't but there was a lot of just standing there chopping back and forth too at a couple parts, because that's what you have to do in every New Japan match. Or like, I don't want to say like a lot of it, but there was a few minutes in that match sent to that, and it was just Kenny selling his belly the whole time, and then Gabe Kidd was like just fighting him, and like fucking yeah, like I said, they pop for an abdominal stretch. That's what I mean, because we know the implications. Like, oh, he's got diverticulitis, he could rip his stomach. That's why you like the match so much, Dave. I think he genuinely he's never said about Ospreay should just be the god of everything. He just shills out the 5 stars because they, you know what I mean? Him and Ricochet and Takeshita. But with Omega, he's like oiling himself up. He should just be the god of my life, rock my world, Kenny. Oh. So he really enjoyed it, and it's because it was actually like like if that shit happened in WWE, we'd. Other than like the long brawling outside the ring, because in Japan you can just fight outside the ring. They don't give a fuck if you use chairs and shit. But anyways, Wrestle Purists, they quote the Observer newsletter. There was talk from WWE that Malakai Black is expected there when his contract expires. That's been the case for a while, but evidently there's been talk in WWE creative about him of late. Nobody expects him back in AEW. So they're basically Meltzer sitting out there telling him, don't come back. No one wants you here. Dave loves the cock. It's like, don't come back here. You're not wanted. Like, that's how this feels, man. It's weird. They just conduct themselves very oddly, and Meltzer loves to just be a part of it. And yeah, it's basically like, don't come back. Hit the road, Black, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Black, don't you come back no more. Yeah, so there's been talk in WWE creative. Why? How? Where have you seen that? But maybe there is. Who knows? But still, I don't get it. Let's see here. This is great stuff from Meltzer said what? Stone Cold Chris Charlton has shook Tony Khan to his core. And according to several anonymous and totally not made up sources, Tony Khan may be in fear for his life. Those close to the situation have informed me that Charlton should be considered verbally armed and dangerous. And yeah, he's on an indefinite hiatus after calling Tony Khan a money mark. He's a money mark. And then Meltzer said what quote tweets himself, and it's fear is a reaction, courage is a decision, Winston Churchill. And again, Tony was scared of Chris Charlton. He can't call me money mark. I help pay his salary. The best guy's me. So moving along here. Dave gave Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd 5.25 stars. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. And this was a good match. But it's like Dave doesn't actually know what he likes, because how is this match? Go and watch this match. I implore everyone. How is this even comparable to Ricochet, Takeshita, Ospreay that got like the same rating? How are those, like, stylistically, the build up, what the implications? Like, there was big implications to this match. And how fucked is it that Kenny went over on Kid? Kid's like the over guy in New Japan. He's like really over, and he's like fighting on behalf of them, and Kenny just beats him. And it's like, what does that do for anyone? Doesn't do shit for Kenny. And then Gabe losing, it's like, okay, so next time he talks all that shit, we're not going to believe him. We have no faith in him, you know? It's just crazy. So, and then we counted it out. So in the whole thing, like, New Japan won 5 matches, AEW only won 4, but like the Bucks won, Kenny won. It's like, bruv, you just go there and bury the fucking New Japan people. It's pretty crazy. I think Tony's trying to poach your boy Gabe Kidd. So Meltzer says, he responds to Juicy Boy, who says, why should he be on hiatus for being honest? They're a joke right now. And then Meltzer goes, if the same thing happened during the Nakamura-Sasuke match with the commentators, almost certainly Noah's never getting another WWE talent and the announcer would have been fired. Yeah, but the difference is nobody's a money mark in WWE, so that wouldn't have happened. Good what if, though. And then Meltzer goes, you think for even a second you replace Khan AEW with Vince WWE a few years back? He's coping by bringing up Vince McMahon.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
He's coping by bringing up Vince from a few years ago. And yes, Vince would have let people bury him. He let ECW bury, like Paul Heyman bury him at ECW One Night Stand and shit. He would let people do that if it was like a war shooting on each other type shit, which was the story that Gabe Kidd and Chris Charlton was trying to get over, you fucking Mark, who wants to see flips. But yeah, man, I quote tweeted it and said, if the storyline is that one of the wrestlers has been burying WWE for months and getting into shoot fights with their talent, then yes, WWE would be okay with the commentator doing it too. Meltzer talking about Vince again. McMahon would have been cool with it, and that doesn't even matter anyways because he's long gone. He gave Punk versus Rollins 4.25 stars, and I knew he'd rate this high, and I called it out while we were watching it live. Monday night PWT live streams, you know, it was a very AEW-ish, especially in the middle parts. Very AEW-ish of a match. So, of course, he would like it. Moving along here. Dave Meltzer says Monday Night Football was down 14% from last season. Now, I was totally like, I don't know. People are like, Monday Night Football wasn't on. I don't care. I was just joking that I was like, everyone was watching WWE on Netflix. You know, I'm just being a smarmy prick. Like, could have been a tweet about anything, and I would have probably said the same thing. Anyways, Dave Meltzer gets owned by the CW guy, and I wrote proof that Meltzer just says shit. So Bradley Schwartz says, we'll repeat. Meltzer says, obviously the KTLA schedule for TV is up in the air with the fires. So the make good for tonight on airing NXT is up in the air. Bradley Schwartz will repeat the NXT nationally on CW Saturday night. And of course, Dave wouldn't know, but it's like he didn't check in with anyone. This guy publicly tweeted him to correct him. And he could have just reached out to someone at CW, but instead he just says shit. Whether Dave was right or wrong at the time, that's does not matter. That's not what I'm even calling out. I'm calling out the fact that he just makes shit up and he didn't even reach out to anyone because the TV exec just had to correct him. I wrote, I quote tweeted Dave here. Dave says, word going around is the runtime for Raw tonight will be in the range of 3 hours and 20 minutes to 3 hours and 30 minutes. I quote tweeted it and said, this is all Meltzer had to say about WWE Raw on Netflix yesterday. And he was wrong. It wasn't 3:20. It wasn't 3:30. There was no word of that. You heard that on PWT listening to me and Marie Shadows while you got triggered, Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer listens to PWT. Motherfucking firmed. Right? So SmackDown will eventually be back to 2 hours. Not sure the story behind that because you're not sure of any story you fucking talk about. You're unsure, Dave. That's why you get called out. Meltzer says AEW did 615 and a 0.17. So that's what I mean. Dynamite on Wednesday did 615,000 viewers chat and garnered a 0.17 in the fucking demo. That's the exact same they do every week ever. Maybe 20,000 people were watching on Max. You know, it's inconsequential. It means nothing, and nothing in the key demo especially. And he goes, it was up from last week, but should have been up from last week. It was up from last week, but should have been up from last week. Well, it is, Dave. So, and I get what he's saying, but you don't need to say it. You guys get, like, if you were writing, you imagine someone saying that to you out loud. It should have been up. Well, it was, Dave, you know? Sorry. Shit irks me. Unless we know the migration of the TV viewer subset to Max, it's really hard. It's really hard to evaluate. No, they have the AIM reports, Dave, and also it's like 20,000 people. Use your fucking head. It's really hard to evaluate what this means just yet. Challenge NBA and Fox News were all above usual. Bro, they're not hitting 1 million. It's not a bunch of new Max users. It's a bunch of marks who are like, oh, fuck, I have to get Max now, for the most part. Yes, there's some people but most people are clearly just still watching on TV. You dumb bastard. So I love when Meltzer whips this one out too about CMLL. He loves to use this stat about Americans, the people CMLL selling the most people are fucking from America. I love this. So Black Saber Jr., Cheeseburger, ROH, you know the wrestler Cheeseburger. He goes, this clip going viral is a reminder that only a small vocal minority of angry wrestling fans on the internet hate flippy shit. No, it's most wrestling fans don't like a lot of flippy shit, dude. The casual wrestling fan and everyone else thinks, no, you're wrong, Cheeseburger. The casual wrestling fan is okay to see it once in a while. If the whole card is flippy shit, you're fucked. In Mexico, they'll watch it because that's the style they like. They grew up. In Mexico, it's fucking ludicrous. You can use the ref to flip on them and do all types of shit. You can do all sorts of crazy shit, just like in Japan. When you watch Japanese wrestling, you can use tables. They won't count you out. You can use a fucking chair, like in grudge matches and shit. They don't disqualify you right away. For whatever reason, they adopted a bit of the hardcore and they let things slide. You can brawl on the outside. Japanese folk are down with it, but it doesn't get over in America, bro. So just in America, you can't do it all the time. Yes, we like it in small doses, once in a while, a Fraxium match, you know, but you can't be doing it all the time. And that's such cope from wrestlers / Meltzer. And Meltzer says the funniest part is the promotion that thrives on drawing non-fans. And this is the funniest part to me. The promotion that thrives on drawing non-fans, CMLL, has most of it, and it's key to their style. Whenever someone says how the casuals or non-hardcores would never go for it, it shows they have no clue. No, Dave, it shows you have no clue, and I'm about to own you so hard. I'm about to own Dave so hard. Also, a large percentage of those tourists are Americans. Dave, that's why they're drawing in the casuals, because when people go to Mexico, like your boy Phil, I went and watched Lucha Libre. And that's what you do. Okay? So you're a tour. Yes, they draw the most casual tourists coming to get an American experience. Part of that involving watching Lucha Libre, one of the most famous things in Mexico. How he does, and I just quote tweeted, I was like, Dave doesn't understand tourism. Right? And they're on vacation. Hey, Dave, you know what else I do when I'm touring around and I'm on vacation? I drink like 7,000 sugary frozen drinks that make me want to shit my pants at the end of the night. And I eat a bunch of I do a bunch of shit you don't always do all the time, right? You start drinking at 10 a.m. and you fucking sit by a beach and you look at turtles and shit, right? You understand when people travel abroad, that's what they do. They do things they don't normally do. They indulge. So you're an American tourist. And yes, the live flippy shit is always fun. Go to an indie show. If you're producing a week-to-week television show in America, it's not going to work. I'm sorry. And that's the difference. They have no clue. No, you have no clue, Dave. And this proves it. But you're projecting. This proves you don't have a clue about anything you're fucking talking about. Because I just broke it down for you. Just logically and sound. There's no arguing what I just said. It's just what it is, bro. So I can't believe he just said that and owned himself. He owned himself. Also, a large percentage of those tourists are Americans. No shit. No shit. Because who the fuck do you think tours Mexico the most? God damn it. Have you ever been to a resort, Dave? It's crazy. This guy just talks out of his ass. And non-hardcores, yes, they go to Lucha Libre matches in Mexico. They're touring around and they go to shows and they go to clubs. They do all type of shit, bro. It's crazy to me. So Meltzer says, in the 90s, my favorite was when American wrestlers with the narrow viewpoint would say the Mexican wrestlers have no psychology and it makes no sense. It doesn't. I'd always bring up how come their matches get so much more heat. They don't. Different means it's something they do in Mexico. On TV in America doesn't work, Dave. Different means it's something new that you learn from. Not that it's bad because you don't understand. Yes, and that is like a good little thing to say, Dave. But like Netflix ratings are different and you're mad because you don't understand them. And you're saying it's bad and it's not what it's painted out to be because you don't understand them. And that's what you constantly do. You're always making out the key demo and all this shit to be not what it is because you don't understand it. And different means something you can learn from. Yes, of course. But here's the thing. What the fuck would WWE have to learn from AEW? What is it they have to learn from AEW? Someone answer me. What valid could they learn from AEW that they could apply to WWE to help WWE more? Oh, let them keep their names? Okay. What else? They're doing that now. So what else? And it's not like it's the first time in history. A lot of people got to keep their names, bro. A lot of people don't. The majority don't. But it's just silly. Like, what could they adopt? Their merch game? How to market? They're hiring a fucking marketing guy or whatever. A sales guy in AEW. What could they learn? Oh, different means you could learn. So you just want to see more flips and injuries in WWE? You just want to see flips, Dave. That's it? It's not that anyone doesn't understand it. People understand that style is not good for longevity and for building superstars around. If WWE is going to invest millions of dollars into a superstar and cut commercials of them for Netflix promo, they're going to invest in them and not want them to like break their fucking neck to please you for 5 stars because you're a dumb mark who's never fucking been outside of a paper castle, bro. Jesus Christ. The last woman you saw had a banana on their head. No Diddy. Right? So Meltzer, you're just a fucking stooge. It's crazy. Even Mole is saying, wow, thanks for the insight, Dave. Don't know what we do without your tips and tricks of the trade. Remind me again when you took her bump or even wrote an angle. Well, I talked to Tony about Frank Mortis. Glenn Gilberti responds to this absolute delusion. And he goes, a casual fan is a fan that watches when the product is good and doesn't when it isn't. Habitual fans watch every week. Drawing casual fans means doing creative things that habitual fans are not a fan of, but they still watch anyway. Drawing casual fans increases ratings. Exactly. So he just owned them too. Oh, they don't understand. Meltzer, you don't understand what even a casual viewer is. Casual viewer is not just someone who comes in and watches one time because they're on a tour show and they fucking want to watch the luchadors flip around and watch the miniatures take crazy bumps, Dave. That's not a fucking casual. That's just a fucking one-off. That's just a guy on vacation who's drunk and it's something to do with the kids. It's an air-conditioned building, you know? Legit. The Rock vs. Roman Reigns is not dead and could happen in the future at an event other than WrestleMania. So Dave just saying the Rock Roman could happen, but maybe it won't happen, but it could happen at another event, but maybe Mania. So just, it could just happen. And then he was right because he studied, right? So you ain't hyped for $2, says Hart ain't here tonight. Send me the feet pics. Mike Saucely, no, you fucking sick bastards. Mike Saucely says Dave is truly a cuckatoo for wrestling and then talks like he knows what the fuck he's talking about. I believe that's what you were saying, bro. He doesn't even watch the shows. He didn't watch Raw on Netflix. I guarantee he fast forward through it. I bet he was having a heart attack. I bet it just triggers him. It's cognitive dissonance. He's fearful. He fears the truth. And that's why he says that about other people. And we point it out all the time. Right? And Dave just needs to understand that we're We're coming for that ass. No, did he? No, but for real, dude, he's completely and utterly lost all credibility. He doesn't know what he's talking about, especially when it comes to sports and TV and shit and Netflix, especially Netflix. He's making it up. Let's see here. Jedi Goodman, top cable channels for the week of December 30. Live plus SD, primetime viewers, whatever, ESPN, whatever. Meltzer says for those acting as if USA is bigger than CW. Well, it only is because of WWE. The USA average for last week, removing the final Raw and Friday SmackDown, was 239K viewers in primetime. Dave, you're the only person who copes and say that the fucking WWE networks are bigger, whatever, to fit your narrative. And then I wrote, Meltzer copes over AEW Dynamite ratings not being affected at all by Max streaming. And because I'm just poking the bear, dude. Here's a funny one. So Meltzer said what? The GOAT. Flashback. That time Dave impersonated a little kid seeing Show versus Will Ospreay. Oh, man, Show, cool. Cool, look. Good boy. He's going to be something. Instead, they cheered Will Ospreay. So this is such a cringe moment, dude. And thank God for Meltzer said what, digging this up. Little kids should have been enraptured by Show and Yo and been like, oh man, Show, cool, look, he's whatever. But instead they cheered Will Ospreay. Listen to Meltzer. This is so fucking funny, dude.
I know little kids who were at that show that went home and they were just enraptured by him. And they're not enraptured by a guy because he, sells his hand really well, or because he, knows the timing to make a comeback, or even, and the whole match was about Show getting over, not him anyway.
Yep.
So, and they weren't talking about Show, they were talking about him. So if anything, like, little kids should have gone, oh man, Show, cool look, good body, he's going to be something. They were all talking about Will. So he's got a connection he's got the superstar connection with little kids, which is interesting because everyone knows that that's the, the audience, the missing audience. Yeah. They need to get. So, and he can get it. So that was a really interesting, fascinating thing, because that's something that
he never got it. And I think Shota Umino's like a John Moxley type guy, rides a motorcycle and shit. So I don't really think Dave was on to anything at all.
I would never know from watching New Japan World or even going to Japan, because Japan, the audience is different. When we saw it in front of like a real live audience of, normal wrestling fans. I mean, not completely normal in the sense that obviously these are all New Japan World subscribers and Wrestling Observer subscribers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When you have that.
Those are the normal people, the New Japan World subscribers and the fucking Wrestling Observer.
You what?
Oh, man.
800 people, whatever it was in San Francisco, in a big market like this, that's a pretty select group. But there were little kids there.
Yep.
And there were families there, so, but it was interesting just to, get that reaction of how he connected with them.
Yep.
Wow. I don't know. Is Show Shota Umino? I thought Show, like from Show and Yo, became Shota Umino. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think either way, maybe I'm totally off and botching that myself. But we're trying to shill New Japan and we're trying to shill TNA here, folks. Let's see. So Meltzer says, so Alan Cheapshot says, just got done with WK and WD. So Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty. Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd was on another level. And then Meltzer goes, he was Terry Funk, but with more athleticism. And I quote tweeted and said, Dave Meltzer calls wrestlers Terry Funk because why the fuck not? And he'll just throw that around. They're gods. Oh, they're gods. Let me gobble your glizzy, my god. My god. Terry Funk. So the legendary story of Dave going to PWG. This is in 2019. This is a throwback, Dave Meltzer. Moment of the week. We'll give you another flute. How about it? So this is how Wavy Davy got his name and why he's such a flip-floppy shill. Meltzer said what? Post this in 2019. This is the legendary story of Dave going to PWG, Battle of Los Angeles, as the crowd chants 5-star match, 5-star match, as they wait with bated breath for Dave to throw 5 fingers up in the air, while Ricochet and Ospreay stare at him as he receives kisses from wrestlers. And this is what I'm trying to tell y'all, right? Wavy Davey, this is why he thinks his way of wrestling or all that bullshit's going to work. Oh, this is why he gives Ricochet 5 stars, and this is why Ricochet's like, I'm going to AEW to be a cringe lord. And all that shit is because, man, they love Meltzer. They were at PWG when Meltzer's in the crowd, and they're all chanting 5 stars, and they're wrestling for him. And he sticks his hand in the air, and and he feels like a god to these people, man. And they bow down and they respect him, and they show him the love that the other wrestlers, the real wrestlers, the serious wrestlers in this industry wouldn't ever fucking give him. And I'm not trying to diminish wrestlers like a Will Ospreay or anything like that, but we just got to call a spade, man. You know, this really seems like he's just gobbling the glizzy. That's all it is. It's all you can really say about it, you know. So anyways, here's why Meltzer's the way he is. Remember this. Here's a little time warp, back to the future. Time cop. It's like a little time cop action here, and we're gonna hear why, dude, because these people made him feel like a god, and now they're his gods, his gluck gods.
There were plenty of 4-star matches and up, and the scene at the end of that 6-man with Ospreay and
there were plenty of 4-star matches. How is there plenty of 4-star matches? That means that none of them are really a 4.
up, and the scene at the end of that 6-man with Ospreay and Ricochet and Seidel. Did you hear about that scene?
No, tell everybody.
It was quite the scene. So, Ospreay. Oh, let me see. So they won with a simultaneous. Ospreay, Ricochet, and Seidel all did shooting star presses
Even back then, he was doing it. Ospreay. 1 second, please.
On the Bucks and Adam Cole at the same time, and when it was over, it was just the perfect climax to an incredible match. And the whole place starts chanting 5-star match, 5-star match. And then Ricochet and Ospreay just like start staring at me. So apparently everybody said that if I had held up 5 hands at that, 5 fingers at that point, that it would have been the biggest pop of the night. But in fact, I didn't do that.
See, Dave's such a mark for himself. Well, if I had it at this, it would have been the biggest pop of the night.
So it wasn't the biggest pop of the night, but there were a million.
You're like that wrestling bear. You just won't communicate. You won't sell. You won't sell. That's right.
Yeah.
Got to go along with the finish.
And they kissed me.
I did hear about that.
Then they kissed me. Oh my God. This is what I mean. Like, it's not fake. Okay, the Glizzy Goblin, man, it's real, bro. Meltzer for real is like making out with these dudes and shit. And that's cool if that's what you're in. I'm not hating on the, but they're literally kissing him, bro. So he rates them highly.
You did hear that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was only Matt. He kissed me. It was actually during the match. It wasn't after the match, but
there's a photo of you going around too. I don't know if you've heard.
They're fucking marks for Meltzer. So he marks out for them, shills for them no matter what, because they're fucking marks for him, dude.
Heard about that.
Is it a coincidence? Dudes were kissing him and acknowledging him at PWG and making him feel special, and then those guys happen to be getting all the 5-star matches ever in the universe, more than Kurt Angle, when Kurt Angle thinks Meltzer's a fucking stooge. Like, just think about it for a second. It's fucking psychotic. Anyways,
there were plenty of 4-star matches and
Jesus Christ, Dave, shut up. This guy tweets out, Dave Meltzer is also still insisting on his Lucha Libre style wrestling as a casual, friendly narrative. And Meltzer goes, I agree. It's the most visible. But if you had equal distribution, equal production, the style that would appeal to the most casual fans would be closer to Lucha Libre, consistent with all the people I know who aren't fans. No, Dave, you brought some nerdy fucking weirdos to your house one time, and they were like, oh, this lucha shit looks cool because the colorful costumes. And it's silly, dumb wrestling. And you fucking genuinely think that matter, that's proof. Oh, everyone I know that doesn't name them then. Why aren't they watching? Why isn't Lucha the most popular? Well, the distribution. That's not an excuse. Why wasn't Lucha Underground? That shit was on TV. Why aren't Lucha videos getting millions of hits then? Do you know what gets millions of hits, Dave? Like, I'll give you the perfect example. Squid Game. Those Korean shows. They're all some of the most thumbs up ever in American and Canadian Netflix and shit. Some of those Korean shows, they blow up. If it's good, it blows up. So I'm so tired of, it's Taylor Swift. It's like the Taylor Swift. Okay, there's a million singers. Why are they not all Taylor Swift? Oh, it's manufactured. So is the whole entertainment business, bro. So is WWE, you stupid bitch. So Taylor's the best because she fucking, the cream rises to the goddamn top. The cream rises to the top. Ooh, yeah. And those Korean shows pop off. There's that show, I think it's in Spanish. It's called The Platform. It pops off. Or it's in Ukrainian or some shit. I don't know. They made a second one. Why? Because it's good, bro. So at the end of the day, when you're sitting here trying to say Lucha, then why aren't the Luchas in WWE? They have the biggest distribution. They have a bunch of Luchas. Why aren't they the top draws? And it's Roman and shit. Because you're just lying. Dude.
Liar!
And you don't actually know. You're trying to convince people of that. Because you're looking at Mexico when Mexico's not America. I thought this was America. So Triple H's thoughts tweeted this out. And it's what Meltzer said about this as well. He got done Kenny's glizzy the first time, but you know what the old saying, 3 times a night or else. And Dave goes, there's no one in WWE who can match the Kenny Omega of January 5th. Even on their best day, there's nobody. And it's like, why make this about dick sucking world record? Why make this about WWE? That's what I just don't understand. Why? Why even make it about that? And yes, they can. The physicality. Here's the thing. Kenny doesn't sell the best. I like him. You guys know that, but he's cheesy sometimes, a little bit. Right? We can all admit that. And he was like chop battling in the middle. So that was whatever. And then he didn't even do all his flippy shit. Like he was just selling. And they did an octopus stretch. And they just hit the ropes and shit, Dave. And it was like a table spot that they took forever to set up. After the one spot, too, they sold it for like 10 minutes. I swear to God. I swear, bro. They just laid there forever. And it was awesome. It was like, holy fuck. But it's because they were selling and everything they did felt important. And now Dave's like, no one can do that. They do that all the time, Dave. And I swear he genuinely likes this match because these other ones, that could be the best triple threat ever. That's the best pay-per-view opener ever. But he's never been like, this is the God of nobody today. Like he's never just gone this hard. Like maybe the Okada matches and shit is where he went this hard before, but I would have to see like quotes. I've never in recent years seen him go this, just bent over backwards and forwards and sideways, bro. So yeah, go watch the match and you all tell me if he's the God, he's just a God of all things. He should just be the God of everything. My Nintendo, my papers, all of my papers. The God of what? The God of war. Like, fuck you talking about? And Gabe Kidd really stood out, I feel like, more than Kenny. Kenny had nothing to gain from winning that match. It was a good match, though. And then Meltzer, I just thought this was funny, too. Like, this is just a funny little tidbit. People don't pick up on this. I like Glenn Gilberti did. On this day in 1994, WWF TV taping, Florence, Sacramento, I want to say. Bret Hart, Sacramento, South Carolina, pardon me, yeah. Dummy, Sacramento's in California. Bret Hart and Owen Hart versus Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner. Now, come on, how do you get better than Bret and Owen versus Rick and Scott? And then Meltzer goes, this was a classic match for its time. This is what I mean when Dave is like, they just don't understand and they're fucking stupid and blah, 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 blah. They think Sacramento is a state. No, but this is what I mean, right? Dave Like, if it was a classic, then it's just a classic. Oh, that was a classic Muhammad Ali fight in its time. What do you mean? It's a classic. So that means it's a classic, which means it's a classic, right? Do we have to pull up the definition of the word classic, Dave? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? So this was a classic for its time. And then Gilbert's like, for its time. What does that mean? It's like, exactly. What? It's a classic. That means it's a classic, which means it's a classic, motherfucker. Means it doesn't go out of style. It's a classic. I don't understand. I just said classic 700 times, but I just don't get how Dave is like, they don't understand. They're stupid. They blah, blah. So in that time, it was classic. But then as time gone on, it's not a classic. Then it wasn't a classic. Fucking idiot. Stupid idiot. Where's my stupid idiot? And that was, ladies and gentlemen,
Stupid
Dave
idiot.
Meltzer's great, very, very dumb moment of the week. Okay, guys, it's been 3 hours 15. I am extraordinarily tired. I love you all so much. Round of applause for Chad for being goated. Everyone tonight being goated. We'll do sickos like Monday. We'll do sickos Monday, dude. Live stream Monday. I also have a cool Royal Rumble live stream planned for you guys. Also, like, yeah, on the Royal Rumble PLE, but like a run-in I'm going to do where I'm going to play like this game for the Rumble that I'm stealing from Wrestle Talk. But yeah, because we're going to do it better. But it's going to be a grand old time. Make sure you're there or be square. Squared circle. Fuck, I don't know. I'm just tired. I love you all so much. I had such a blast tonight. And Dave really got his comeuppance. There was a lot of Dusty Dave in there. Guys, youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. youtube.com/@ProWrestleTimes. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Please run those shits up. We're rolling, man. You guys are goated. And then patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. And consider joining. If you like this content, consider joining the Patreon. It's hours of shit that can't be on YouTube, okay? And there's tons more coming. And I'm watching Total Divas with my wife, and we're doing the first episode right away. So you want to check that out. In the meanwhile, be good to each other. Let Dave know to do better. Dave needs to do better, right? And yeah, I love you all. Say my name. Chivers? No. Give a yay. I love you all. Top mod of the top pod. Thank you all. Round of applause. You've been amazing. And I'll see you in the upside down. Until next time, I'll miss you all. Sweet dreams. I'll bid you adieu. Kiss, kiss, bang, bang. All that good shit. Good night.
It is a fast-acting viral strain that infects the host immediately, and upon getting sick, the infected will become racked with coughs, sweat profusely, and start to get the shivers and chills.
There he is, the legend. The man, the myth, the legend. Yeah.
You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
Thank you very much, TikTok and AEW. See you tonight.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week.
The best guys, Tony Khan. We just secured the bag.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It was just sort of happened naturally. But it was never something I intended. It was just something that happened because the wrestlers asked me to do things in matches, and I do them.
If you run a promotion just for the sickos, you're going to do 400,000.
I look and see it's not just me.
Jeff, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
I look and see, it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see, it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. We call this problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless smile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand, we won't fall. We're 1-1 for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. We call this problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless smile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand, we won't fall. We're 1-1 for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Get wild. Yeah.
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'd be remiss for my friend if I didn't ask you about Fallen Angel.
So the Fallen Angel is a performer named Chris Daniels, and Chicago guy.
Yeah.
And was brought out to Los Angeles, and he had the daunting task of taking someone like me who couldn't move and trying to teach them the basics.
How to move.
The basics of the business.
By Pro Wrestling Clips, Flutes are civil. Conan broke the internet with his Vikingo contract news, though. Everyone's saying he's going to